Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It's Thursday, August 10th, and we're only a day away from the Lions' first preseason game, Sam Flannel.
We're only a day away. It's almost like, unlike previous years, there's actually legitimate excitement. It's not we're starving for football. This is almost like the night before Christmas, and we're talking about preseason. Just imagine how we are going to feel Wednesday night before the Kansas City Chiefs game. Especially doing the shows during the day, it is going to be even more electric. I don't know if I can keep up this amount of electricity. I might just implode, but you know what? For the sake of the Lions, I will power through. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you can never have enough blue Kool-Aid. I learned that last week talking with Booner about that. So, you know what? Joining us, the same crew as always, JB in the booth. Look at you, JB, the AEW shirt with
JB's up to something with his fit
I
today,
gotta
baby.
represent, man. Come on.
Now, by the way, what's that hat?
Oh, homemade.
It looks sweet.
Yeah.
I see homemade. Okay,
Yeah.
Whitney, I see what you did there, JB. I see what you did.
And of course, we got Lucas Klotz in the TD booth. We're going to have Matt Broder join us at 8:30 to break down day 2 of joint practices. It's going to get spicy. Matt Broder's going to bring some facts. I can't wait to talk with him about that. A lot more planned for today. I want to stick with the first segment, just kind of go through everything we saw yesterday. Look at Matt Broder. Look at that man. Look at. I love his energy, man. There's not a lot of people out there like Matt Broder. There just isn't. I love it. I want to get to, at least in the first segment, like I was saying, about a lot of the stuff we saw yesterday, some of the highlights, because, again, the rookies were making plays, and this has been a consistent thing, but it's different, like I said yesterday, making plays against your own defense that you're very familiar with, and then, you know, welcoming in another organization and still making plays. Like, that's what's respected, Sam Flannel.
Yeah, that's what we look at as maybe something we can hang our hat on, because obviously when you're going up against your own team in practice, you don't really know who to root for. Are you happy when the offense makes a big play, or are you kind of disappointed in the defense? But when you're going up against a team like the New York Giants, it's good to see, at least maybe not so much yesterday, but the day before, they clearly had the upper hand, and you saw some very, very important players, important rookies for the Lions really show out. So let's hope to see more of that during the rest of training camp. I don't know how much more excited I can be, but certainly watching joint practices, at least the one from a couple days ago, certainly got me even more excited.
Yeah, in about 12 minutes, we'll be going through that Dan Campbell quote, him talking about the rookies, who made an impact, who impressed him. And then obviously later in the show, I did want to bring up a conversation, because the thing being reported a lot among at least Giants media and just analysts in general, guys that watch the joint practice with the Lions and the Giants, a lot of people out there were saying Aiden versus Kayvon wasn't close. They were saying, you know, Kayvon, quote unquote, blended in with the crowd, and then there was Aiden who showed a little more. I'm not saying now Aiden was out there acting like Hall of Famer already, but still,
he stood out more.
He stood out
like,
more.
Oh yeah, there's Aiden Hutchinson. There's probably not a lot of moments where you're like, oh shit, there's Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, he's not LT or anything. He was making plays, and we're gonna get into that in the second, or later in the first hour, to be honest with you. So I want to stick with and show some of the things, and I know you got some of the video. And before we get to all the highlights, Teddy Bridgewater, the details of his contract officialized. 1 year, about $2.5 million, $5 million with incentives. 2.5 of that's guaranteed. There you have it. And I'll just read this off. This per Adam Schefter. He tweeted this out. This was reported among Detroit as well. 1 year and a base of 2.5 guaranteed. The report indicates that Bridgewater could earn up to $5 million. Again, the deal is not signed. Head coach Dan Campbell indicated earlier this week that the deal is not likely to happen before next week. But regardless, hey, and maybe we can. This is to Neil Rule. $8 million.
Yeah, it ain't that.
Yeah, no one wants it at $8 million. I know E&E maybe, but Neil Rule, this is fair. $2.5 million for 1 year, Sam Flannel. I'll take it. It's better than a deal. You know, typically you give these types of backups, which is like a 2 for 16. You get them for 1 year. He gets the year to sit behind Jared Goff. Best case scenario, he doesn't play, but if he does, you have an option. And at the same time, he gets to mentor young receivers. Hendon Hooker, and just be another voice in that locker room. So I love the deal. And it's dirt cheap.
And I'm just making an assumption, and I know that's a little bit dangerous, but I'm assuming that the incentives probably involve him playing some games or maybe completing a certain amount of passes. So if he does what we all hope that he does, which is not play a single snap all season, then it's 1 year, $2.5 million. If that's all you pay in guaranteed money to Teddy Bridgewater, I would say that it's not only fair, I would say it's one of those highway robberies. Because Teddy Bridgewater, at least as a backup quarterback, is about as good of quarterback insurance as you are going to find in the NFL right now.
And what do you think, Lucas? What do you think about it? Teddy Bridgewater, 2.5 guaranteed.
I mean, it's just Brad dealing on a discount like he's been doing all year. We got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in here on a deal. We got Cam Sutton in here on a deal. We got Emmanuel Mosley in here on a deal. All those guys are going to play. Now Teddy Bridgewater, most likely, like Flannel said, we hope he doesn't play, but I think we are all very comfortable. Even if it was $8 million, I would be comfortable with Teddy Bridgewater going out there if Jared Goff got hurt. Now the fact that it's $2.5 million, now when you talk about when trade deadlines start coming up, you have more cap space to make key trades if we have injuries somewhere else on the team. Say we have a guard go down, a defensive tackle, a linebacker. Now just that $4.5 million in cap space that we are saving could now become vital.
And think about this too. Jacoby Brissett, who isn't a bad backup, he's one of the better backups, signed a 1 year, $8 million contract with the Washington Commanders. Compare that to a 1 year, 2.5 with a chance to make it 5 with incentives, which that's if he plays and contributes. So if he doesn't play, you're paying him 2.5. Are you joking?
Even if it goes up to 5, you know what I mean? Like,
regardless,
even, like, it's a deal. The fact that it's under 6 in my mind, I thought it was gonna be like 1 year, $6 million, just get in, get out type of thing. But the fact that it's under $6 million kind of blew my mind. So I'm completely content with it, even if it does go up to 5, because he has to play for like a quarter or something.
Well, that's the thing. Is Jacoby Brissett right now a little bit better than Teddy Bridgewater? I would probably say yes, but is
it
right? Yeah, in terms of the value, especially if it's $2.5 million, that's like a little bit more than a fourth of what Jacoby Brissett is going to make. And even if is Teddy Bridgewater 5/8 of Jacoby Brissett? I would certainly say that he's probably more than 5/8 of Jacoby Brissett. So this is just another one of those deals. Like Lucas said, the Lions had some cap space in this offseason, but not as much as teams like, say, the Bears. But Brad Holmes has still managed to make a ton of good moves, particularly in that secondary. And then they just added probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best, at a dirt cheap, at least guaranteed salary. So bravo to Brad Holmes. He continues to impress us with all of his moves. The man can't miss.
Do you think,
no, it seems like he can't, to be honest with you.
Do you think, and Gabby, I want to hear your thoughts on this too, do you think there's any chance by week 1 in Kansas City the Lions make another trade?
I wouldn't say so. I don't know about by week 1 maybe, but I think if there is a trade, it would come midway through the season when you know, hey, a guy goes down, you need to make a trade. I don't know. I think right now I think they like where they're at. To be honest with you. Do you think so? Or are you just asking that question?
Because a lot of times before, like, especially with the roster cuts, I shouldn't say even trades, but even like big signings, because when you start getting down to roster cuts, sometimes teams let go of veterans that you're like, wow.
Yeah, like signing, I would agree. Maybe signing.
I should say just another big acquisition. It doesn't have to be big, but key acquisition. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think signing definitely. I think when I heard trade, I'm like, I don't know if they'll trade anybody. Yes, I think when that time comes around and guys are cut, this is why you have available cap space. Because Brad will have his selection. If a guy's cut and he's like, hey, we can get him in as a depth piece.
Because I'm just saying.
It makes sense.
It's almost like he's been holding a lot of money on purpose. It's almost like he's been up to something by doing these signings. Like, he's been very particular. So I don't know if maybe he's got some master plan involved where he's like, I want to see how we perform in preseason, really see where strengths and weaknesses are. And if there's a guy that's around the league that's probably trying to get out and win right now, and I can go get him, I got the cap space to do it now, and we also got other stars. But Gabby, I want to hear what you think, just because you're around camp, obviously. You can see him in person. Do you think there's any chance that there's another big acquisition for the Lions?
I think you make a good point that if it does happen, it's not going to happen now. I think there needs to be an evaluation. Obviously, we've taken that next step with now they're in the joint practices, but I don't think we'll really see anything like that, and I don't think there's been any rumblings. Like, we knew about Teddy Bridgewater. We knew that was potentially going to happen going into these joint practices. So it's not like because of the joint practices now we're like, okay, yes, we actually have to fill this role. It's something that's been happening for a long time. So I think there has to be another step to really evaluate where their current talent is at now before they would make a big trade or signing. But I do agree with you, Lucas, because I'm like, there is this cap space. And you know how he's kind of like a quiet chess player.
That's what I'm saying. There's something going on.
But is the time now, or is he just keeping this open for later?
Yeah.
There are some rumors going around, though, that I'll have to admit. And if you tapped into the heavyweights last night, Easy kind of hinted at something. But like I said, it's still just rumors that there could be a potential trade going on with at least like a 3rd or 4th round pick to get someone on the defense. And names I've been hearing are like Buda Baker, Patrick Queen. Like, I don't know exactly what is going to happen. Maybe even Chris Jones, but that's all depends on the Chiefs as well too. But you're going to have to spend a lot more to get Chris Jones over here. But these are all just rumors, but it kind of seems like something is rumbling and building up.
And I guess you could speak on that because to JB's point, and you guys kind of talking about it, the most valuable thing in sports as a GM is to have flexibility. This is across sports too. It's NBA, NHL, to have money available, to have assets available, to keep your options open. Like Brad Holmes had all this, roughly $20 million in cap space just chilling. Like, just in case things like this happen. It's Teddy Bridgewater, you're able to... It's a luxury signing, to be honest with you. Like, not too many guys, like, especially you look at Patrick Mahomes, they're paying him so much money that they really don't give a damn who their backup is because they got 50 invested in Patrick Mahomes. But for here, with Brad, the available cap space, the way he's doing this thing, it's different than, any year we've seen before, any regime we've seen before.
Well, and the thing is, in training camp, there's always going to be one surprise injury, at least you think, knock on wood, obviously, and there's going to be a cut that maybe you don't see coming as well. You mentioned, I know it's just a rumor, Buda Baker I'm not,
I like the player, I just don't like the fit there. That makes sense. I don't feel like we need him.
That's all well and good, but there was also a big-time injury scare with one C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So if that were to happen to maybe him or somebody else, maybe Buda Baker would be someone that Brad Holmes would consider because he is one of the better safeties in the league. I'm not saying go out and get Buda Baker. I'm just saying that may have been part of the thought process because C.J. Gardner-Johnson, when that first happened, we were all pretty devastated. I think getting a Buda Baker or somebody like that, although it's just a rumor, would soften the blow a little bit.
If you had to pick one player, Sam, to kind of like, real quick, like off the top of your head, one defensive player you want Brad Holmes to trade for right now?
I would say Michael Bridges.
I'm kidding. In all the NBA, you get one player for the Pistons.
No.
Michael Bridges.
One defensive player, like you're talking one that's viable, or I could just
like one that you could see being moved, like that's out there.
I mean, that's tough. I'm not really keyed in on all like marquee players that are available. I would say a defensive tackle is preferred.
Defensive tackle.
That's a good one. Because I see Brian Branch playing it. Man, this is interesting because
what I would.
Brian Branch is up in that slot, right?
Yeah.
So you got him in the slot. You got Kirby and CJ in the back end. Tracy Walker's kind of getting squeezed out a little bit. He's with the second team. So I don't know. Corner they got. They're fine in a lot of positions. I don't know. That's a good question, I guess. I mean, defensive tackle, but Josh Pascal I think will be fine. So I don't know.
To me, this is actually easy. This is somebody we've talked about before, and somebody even mentioned it in the chat a little while back. None other than Chase Young, of course. Ooh. I would love for the Lions to trade for Chase Young because as Ben Johnson texted to Jared Goff, I'm going to paraphrase it, Chase Young, huge year. It's coming. It's coming. I know that he's had some injury issues, but he did have a damn good rookie year, and he was one of the best edge rushing prospects coming out that I've ever seen. So maybe presumably the healthiest he's been in a while. I think Chase Young has an absolutely dominant season. I foresee double-digit sacks. So if somehow, some way he could become that bookend every down pass rusher to Aiden Hutchinson and maybe putting James Houston more into pass rushing roles, I think that would help the defense. Is it a pipe dream? Probably. But Lucas, you asked the question. I'm a big Chase Young guy.
Funky's chiming in. Same with Eric Allen here. Eric says Walker still has this year and next year on his contract too, right? Well, he signed, what was it, a 2 or 3 year deal? I have to double check that.
It was a 2-year deal. He has this year and then he has next year.
Okay, so that is true. And then Funky chiming in. He says Chase Young will give you a huge 2.5 games.
No
Oh,
way.
come on.
I'm with you. I think Chase
Thank
Young
you.
going crazy this year. He's doing crazy.
Joe says, imagine a healthy Chase Young and Hutch. Yeah, that would be nice. Hoof-hearted, Chase Young inspires no confidence that he actually turns his talent into production.
But he was productive in his rookie year. He was defensive rookie.
Yeah.
He literally just had what Nick
Right.
Bosa had happen to him,
Right.
except for just one more season.
I mean, this idea that Chase Young has never done anything, or that his rookie people are just looking at the sack numbers, but you have to look a little bit deeper into that to see how impactful Chase Young actually was. That's why he was rewarded with Defensive Rookie of the Year. So the last 2 years, the injury concerns, those are all valid and real. But you can't tell me that he didn't live up at least for one season, because he did.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think it's more so injuries. I mean,
Sure,
that's it's. I don't think you could question the skill set for Chase Young, right? I mean, the guy in his rookie year was productive, but him alongside Aiden Hutchinson would be intriguing. I would love that. Two guys who could play on every down. That offensive linemen are going to have to key in on every single play.
Yes.
And they can play on run situations as well. Like, I love Chase Young. Now, I don't know if he'll actually be traded.
I
though.
don't think that'll
I
happen.
don't think he'll be traded, but we'll see. Funky says, if Levi O is good to go, we don't need anyone on the line. Sorry, not sorry. That Levi Onwuzurike, I know Lucas is cringing because he thinks he's the most overrated dude right now. But at the same time, though, to Funky's point, dude, if Levi lives up to what he was supposed to, his defensive line, that guy can slide into the interior and play defensive tackle. Like Levi,
It'll be solid.
Levi's a nice piece.
But I think Aleem McNeil has a lot more talent, and he's going to show a lot more. And I like what we've seen from Broderick Martin so far. I think Broderick Martin's a bigger man, takes up more space, and you have Isaiah Buggs there as well. And Broderick Martin so far, he has not disappointed, and he's probably going to be a little bit more fresh than Levi. And he does not have a major back injury as well, especially as a defensive line, as a defensive tackle. A back injury is crucial, especially early on.
And we shall see. I know it was something that people questioned if it would ruin his career, and now he's back. So
I mean, think of the defensive tackle. You're a big boy, and you're getting double teamed. Sometimes you're going straight up, and all the leverage is going on your back. That's not like, it's not an ideal thing. A back injury in any contact sport is the worst thing to have. Back and neck.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you do have a back injury, I have the place you can go to. It's Dispo. Because they'll hook you up with the products. I'll tell you that.
That's
Join
facts.
us and Dispo at their Hazel Park location, August 11th for Ermanni and Edwards and the Woodward Heavyweights from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come prepared as Dispo Dispensary takes your cannabis experience to new heights. Located at 634 West 9 Mile Road, Hazel Park, Michigan. See you there for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the Heavyweights live August 11th at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. Don't forget, hit the like button, support the stream. We'll try to get to over 50 likes by the end of this segment. And don't forget, guys, if you miss the show, you can always go back and re-listen on any podcast platform you listen to podcasts, Morning Woodward Show. Leave a 5-star review for Sam and his wonderful flannels. But we got more lines to get to. Joint practice. Day 2 was yesterday. I think they have today off. It's just a walkthrough, if I'm not mistaken.
No media today.
Okay, no media availability today, but there is some highlights that we got to get to yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you can get to the first one. It was Panay Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson back-to-back making plays. And the Panay on Kayvon Thibodeau, man, both Oregon Ducks. That one, I'm not going to lie to you, I was pumping blue Kool-Aid through my veins when I saw this. Panay Sewell just putting that man in a phone booth. And then there's Aiden Hutchinson on number 70, which is like a backup tackle. So I don't want to, overreact to that one. But still, Panay against Kayvon is the bigger one. Like that, he put him in a phone booth.
That's exactly what you want to see there.
Absolutely. A top 5 pick going up against your guy, your franchise right tackle. There you go. He boarded well for himself there. But Aiden Hutchinson, with that spin move.
Yeah, I mean,
like this man's arsenal just keeps increasing.
and he looks more and more athletic. Like just as far as like his build, like he looks like he put on, like he got bigger, but it's with mass. It's not fat. Like
No, dude.
he like got
He's shredded.
beefed up, and it's healthy weight. It's exactly what we saw Lee McNeil do, and I think Lee McNeil got smaller, obviously, but as far as just getting more in shape, being able, like healthier, more agile, I think Aiden Hutchinson, he did exactly what you need to do to have that sophomore jump, because that's what everybody's going to be looking for, and he got in shape for it. So now, will he be able to do it consistently?
And I think Taylor Decker talked about that too. He's like, Aiden Hutchinson got bigger somehow. Like the dude was already massive, and now he's bigger, and it seems like he has less body fat. I don't know how that happens, but the dude, you can see it. Jersey's pulled up, has a six-pack. He's out there 6'7", 260, hitting guys with spin moves, right? Like the biggest thing underrated for Aiden coming out was like his athleticism. The dude can move for his size, Sam Flannel, and you know all about that. You love Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, I love Aiden Hutchinson probably almost as much as his mother does at this point, because Aiden Hutchinson, one of the things that I think coming into the NFL, which was a little bit unfair criticism, was that maybe he doesn't have the ceiling of even like a Kayvon Thibodeau, as we saw in that highlight. But you saw last year that he has the athleticism, he has the skill set to one day win a Defensive Player of the Year award. And I'll tell you what, the more that I see from these highlights, the more that I hear coming out of camp, I think it could be coming in the next 3 to 5 years. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Would it shock any of you, really?
No, it wouldn't shock me, but I guess to start, if you're going to win Defensive Player of the Year, you got to start destroying tackles like Andrew Thomas, because Andrew Thomas, man, put him in a phone booth for a little bit there. But that's good reps for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to go against Panay. Look at Andrew Thomas here. Like that's an elite tackle.
Yeah.
So that's great experience for Aiden Hutchinson. This isn't a bad thing. And of course, this is one rep. We don't know how any of the other ones went. But regardless, though, I mean, Andrew Thomas, he's a stud. We know that. And Aiden, I think this is a great experience for him. If you go up against Panay, Taylor Decker, you go up against Andrew Thomas, once you go into the league, you start the regular season, you're facing guys that are significantly worse, and he's hitting guys with the spin move. Like, that's great experience for him, regardless.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're being fair on the Morning Woodward show and not just showing Aiden Hutchinson highlights, because here's the thing. When you go up against a tackle like Andrew Thomas, who is the New York Giants version of Penei Sewell, you're going to lose some of those matchups because Andrew Thomas is elite. He's another one of the up-and-coming best tackles in the NFL. So it's good experience. The fact that he's going to get to go against Penei sometimes in practice, and then Andrew Thomas in these joint practices. You want to go up against some of the best in order to get better. And I think a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, he has the work ethic, he has the smarts, that this is only going to help him in the end, because he's going to look at that. He's going to look at those Andrew Thomas highlights, I think, and be even more angry than he is looking at his actual highlights where he beats some backup tackle. And Aiden Hutchinson is only going to learn and only going to get better.
And you got to think too, for Aiden, his biggest attribute is his motor.
Yes.
Like, although he may not win a rep, he's going to come at you with the same effort the following rep. Like, that's got to be the worst thing, at least for a tackle, to be like, this guy will not stop coming, dude. Pause. Coming full speed at me. I changed it. Dan Campbell, can you play what he talked about the rookies? Because Dan had some interesting things to say about the Lions rookie class, and he mentioned some names up in there.
You know which name he mentioned, too.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Look, Laporta. I thought Laporta showed up. I thought Gibbs showed up. Branch did some things. Starling, I saw growth. Those are the guys that really stand out to me. Drummond, once again, out there making plays. So we got a lot of young guys that I feel like are growing.
Man, you got to love it. Dan Campbell talking about the rookies that impressed him. And, of course, he's mentioning guys that are going to be key pieces to this franchise moving forward. And then he just throws in Dylan Drummond.
Which name did he say first?
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, do you have the clip of him? The sidearm? All right, let's play that. I mean, Jared Goff was looking like Matthew Stafford out there. Look at this pass. The Sam Laporta. Little sidearm. And this was tweeted out. I forgot what beat reporter tweeted this out, and I want to give credit, but I have to find it exactly. They pointed this out. They said if you were there in person, Sam Laporta chipped a linebacker before he...
I was going to say that coverage looks weird. You can tell the linebacker's trying to get there, he can't, and then the safety, or I don't know if it'd be the slot corner for 27, he's just laid over there. So I was like, look, whoever's guarding Sam Laporta did not do it there.
Apparently it was reported. He took a man's soul before he was open there. And then there's the sidearm by
and that makes
Jared
it look
Goff.
easy.
I know. And you can't even see
catch,
Jared.
He's not gassing there at all.
man.
His reflexes. Look at the
That's what I'm
catch,
saying.
dude.
His awareness, it's a hands catch. He's not catching with his body, and then he's turning right away to run. He's got good
Both of them
hips.
so fast.
Say if that was at like the 30-35 yard line, he could pick up another 5-10 yards there. He's not running away from the defense, but that's when we talk about like the George Kittle-esque of what Sam Laporta can do. Like he's going to turn that into 5-10 more yards. Michael Mayer, he's getting tackled or falling out of bounds or tripping and stumbling.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. So Michael Mayer is just clumsy now. He's just completely clumsy. Can't play football.
Michael Mayer is just going to be like, in 5-10 years, he's just going to be your average Joe, in my opinion. I think Mercedes Lewis-esque.
Oh, stop it.
Mercedes Lewis.
Come on.
Not
Not
Mercedes
Mercedes Lewis.
No, but I think he'll be the third or fourth best tight end in this class. And he talked about like he should have been the best. Like he was the next like Gronk or something. They called him like before Baby Gronk, that 12-year-old was a thing. They literally were calling him Baby Gronk.
They were calling Michael Mayer Baby Gronk as a freshman at Notre Dame. And I like Michael Mayer, but I will say this. If Sam Laporta can put it all together and obviously be an offensive weapon more than just a tight end, a guy who can be just a stud when it comes to yards after the catch, I think he has more of an upside than Michael Mayer. I just think Michael Mayer is as solid as can be, and that's fair. I think they're going to be the two best tight ends in this class, even better than who was the one in the first round? I forgot.
Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid, yeah. I thought Dalton Kincaid was a little bit overrated coming out. He's the one that I think will actually be overrated, not Michael Mayer.
Think Kincaid will?
Yes.
Did he go to Buffalo or the Cowboys?
He went to Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like Dalton Kincaid a lot, but I think Sam Laporta is more of a complete tight end. Dalton Kincaid is maybe better as a receiver, like that he showed more. I mean, you watch him at Utah this past year, he had like 200 yards in a game. Like the guy can play, but I think Laporta is a little more well-rounded. And you see him, obviously we didn't get to see it in that clip, but he can get his nose dirty. He can get out there and get physical with people. So I love that about Laporta. But you got the Brian Branch clip?
I'm loading it in right now.
Because Brian Branch, again, dude, this guy just continues to impress. Like Brian Branch,
once he gets on the field, it's going to be hard to take him off.
That's a bar. Like, especially with AG, loves his DBs, and for a guy like, again, who's flying around making plays for Saban's defense, like you walk into this defense, a defense that wasn't great last year, especially that secondary. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to take Brian Branch off the field. It is what it is. And now it's being reported Tracy Walker's working with the second team. But look at this, man. The guy's just out there making plays. Look at him.
I gotta loop it. Let me loop it for us.
Yeah, let's loop it. Let's get another look at this. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like the man, look at it. He's making plays, right? And he's been doing this consistently. It doesn't matter who he's against. Going stride for stride. Yesterday we talked about that. Today making plays. And again, the Giants did bounce back yesterday. They had a better day. The Lions defense did struggle as a whole, as opposed to the first day where the Lions looked like the better team all around. But again, this is how it's going to go in joint practice. You know, you're going to have ups and downs. The defense is going to learn a ton. I saw Kirby broke coverage one time, and Darius Slayton caught a touchdown pass on him. Like, these things are going to happen. It's just communication issues, which they'll get that resolved, hopefully. But this defense, I don't know. Like, you see great things, and then you see things maybe where they slack a little bit. Like, I'm curious where this defense ends up. I think they could be a top 15 unit, but also they have the potential to be a top 10 unit. I don't know where this defense falls.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of hope and optimism for, I think, every single level of the defense, but there's also some concern. I would say the least amount of concern is with the secondary, but even with the secondary, you're plugging a lot of new pieces, but I think they'll show, especially with veterans like C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Cam Sutton, that the chemistry concerns won't really be a thing. I mean, the defensive line, we all know that there's still some questions about whether they did enough. It would take guys like Broderick Martin and Aleem McNeil, I think, hitting, and even Isaiah Buggs and Levi Onwuzurike giving you something for it to be like, I'd say, a top 10 to 15 defense in the NFL, which I think might even be a little bit of I think top 10 might be a little bit of a pipe dream. I would say top 15, but even the linebacking core, I'd say the only way that the linebacking core, and I'm not dissing it, the only way that it becomes a good linebacking core this season is if Jack Campbell is everything that we hope that he is and becomes the best linebacker on the team. I think that is going to happen, but we'd be lying if we said there weren't some concerns. And the defense, we're not expecting it to be a top 5 or anything like that.
No.
We're talking about top 15 would be good. So if you're a top 15 defense, you're still going to give up some points. You're still going to definitely have some hiccups during a joint practice. So I'm not really worried about that at all, especially if their offense is as good as it was last year or maybe even better.
It's just all about consistency,
Yeah.
right? Not having games like a Dallas where that was mainly the offense where they completely crumble. But still, regardless, I mean, you bring up games where they've gotten, like Seattle, you couldn't force a punt. Like there's Carolina where you give up, I watch my language, a crap ton of yards in the first half. Like
even at Minnesota the first time.
Absolutely. So like this is a trending thing, but the second half of the season, run defense got much better, defense got much better, and they got more talent now. So I don't think it's a concern. But Lucas, what about you?
There's definitely an area of concern just because, especially, I'm really concerned with how the linebackers are going to be. I'm sold on Jack Campbell, but as far as if him reaching his ceiling, I think is what this defense is really going to live or die on, just because he's going to be that field general, he's going to be that middleman. And Alex Anzalone, he peaked last year, but it was because he had so many reps. The secondary, I think, is going to take a little bit of time to mesh, but I don't think that much time just because of how talented these players are and the chemistry that they're already building.
Right.
And I think, like, week 1 or 2, it might be kind of like they're there, but then there's going to be some place where, like, what the hell's going on? Like, I think during they were doing red zone yesterday, and Daniel Jones kind of broke out of the pocket, and you can see Kirby's kind of looking at Daniel Jones, and then Darius Slayton runs behind him. And that's one of those things where it's like, that's Kirby's guy, and he's getting stuck looking at the quarterback still, which when you're in zone coverage, you're theoretically supposed to do, but you can't just, like, forget what's going on behind you when you're a safety. And that's one of those things where it's Kirby's going to be playing his 3rd year of safety. That's still going to take some time to come around. So there is some area of concern, especially like we're playing the Chiefs and the Seahawks week 1 and 2. So there's some area of concern, but as overall, I think as the season goes on, I think everything will be fine, but it's not like it's a lock in my opinion. But
what about
top 12 defense is their ceiling for sure. They have all the talent that they could possibly need.
And Gabrielle, you've been down there, at least for the defense. What's the chemistry? Is there any concern there? I know the secondary is pretty much lockstep, but as a whole, how much better can this defense be, you think?
I mean, there's definitely room for growth, but the first thing that they'll tell you is that there's that room for growth. They know that they're still getting into stride with each other, but I think the other pieces are going so well that part may feel like it's falling a little bit behind, but I don't think it's room for concern. And I think the fact that they're now getting the chance to go up against a different offense is only strengthening them, and that was a big point that was made in that first day of the joint practices, because they have the opportunity to now get something different. I mean, you've been going up against the same guys for weeks now, months.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see them react to the unexpected.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this joint practice, which is so great, is facing different competition. And again, Daniel Jones isn't the best quarterback they're going to face. They got Patrick Mahomes week 1.
Right, yeah.
That's who you gotta key in on. But again, it has to be somewhat of a concern still with the youth. I mean, Malcolm Rodriguez 2nd year, James Houston 2nd year, right? Aiden Hutchinson 2nd year, Kirby Joseph 2nd year, like Jack Campbell rookie, Brian Branch rookie. You got a lot of youth on this defense. Josh Pascal 2nd year, so you expect on paper they're going to be much better, but again, there's still a little bit of that youth, part of it where they might have a slip up or two. But
Especially
as a whole,
especially in camp.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not too worried. We'll go to break when we get back. We're going to go through Matt Broder's article. He was there at day 2 for training camp. We'll have him to talk about it much more. We'll talk about the rookies as well, but also get to Marvin Jones because he made some plays.
He's balling.
And I know you loved it.
Marv's looking good. Marv is looking good.
Lucas was watching that going, DJ Chark who? Marvin
You're right.
Jones
I
is out
really
here.
was. I really was. You're not
Okay.
wrong.
So,
right.
Lucas, is he Marv now? Are you guys like boys?
No. I'm not easy. I don't have his phone number. I don't have anything like that. But I loved Marvin Jones when he was here. I loved what I saw him last year as Jacksonville, just like a wide receiver through, and I think he can do the same exact thing here.
So you're not pulling it easy. You're not saying,
I'm
he's
not
good,
going-
but I also have his phone number.
No, I have no contact with Marvin Jones ever. I think I took a picture when he was in front of his poster when I was like 13 when he was here. He was like this.
Well,
and that's the only contact I've ever had with Marvin Jones.
Well, to be fair, too, it is Easy's birthday. So happy
Shout out
happy
Easy.
birthday,
Easy.
Easy. He's the GOAT, man.
My
We love you,
landlord.
Easy. But we'll go to break. But before we do that, can you tell us about our friends over at Lady Jane's?
Oh, yes. I'm looking a little bit rough, so I definitely need to get over there at some point, but they still have me looking. They got me looking like pretty damn
Solid
good.
6.
A solid 6. You know what? But before I went to Lady Jane's, you should have seen me before. I was maybe a hard 4 at best. But anywho, you can walk into any Lady Jane's Jeans for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you and one for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Wicked.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, located inside of the Cambria Hotel. Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first visit, and visit 5irongolf.com to tee up good times. Join the Woodward sports team to watch us play against 16 lucky fans tonight, August 10th, for opening night of the Woodward Sports Network Golf League, hosted by 5 Iron Golf and co-presented by Mark White and Associates. That is 5irongolf.com.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes by the end of this segment. Don't forget, you can always re-listen to the podcast on any platform you get your podcast. Morning Woodward Show, leave a 5-star review. Speaking of 5 Iron Golf, we'll be down there tonight. Me, Lucas, Booner, Braylon Edwards. Wow, what a foursome. Like, I stink, so I don't know.
I've never, hey.
But
you
know
what,
want to
come down there and be better than me at one thing? Opportunity. Right. Golf. Never swung a golf club in my life. Be a first time tonight.
We'll be there 5 to 7. Some people are going to be down there. Some Woodward Sports listeners. It'll be a great time. So make it if you can. We got our good friend Matt Broder, the guy who was in the flesh yesterday. He was down there at Allen Park. He was watching the Giants in the Lions joint practice. And Broder wrote an article, woodwardsports.com, which you can check out. Some of his day 2 notes of practice with the Giants. And I'll just start off, Broder, with simple introduction before we get into some of these notes. But what'd you see? Anything stood out to you that you want to bring up? Anything that you've been holding on to?
Yeah, so I was watching the defense yesterday. They had the Giants offense going against the Lions defense on one of the 2 fields at camp, and the Lions offense going against the Giants defense on the other. So I was focused on the defense, and I left with kind of mixed emotions. They didn't have their best day. They showed flashes. There were a lot of individuals both making plays, but also those same individuals didn't always make the same mistake twice. So it was a lot of mistakes kind of across the entire team defense. So it didn't all come together, but there were flashes from individual players. So it was good to see them go up against the Giants and some real players that they have. And if there was one takeaway from the day, it's I may be drafting Darren Waller and Darius Slayton in fantasy football if I can get him.
Really?
If I can get him at the right time in the draft.
Guy's got the inside look on the
Oh, wow.
Dude,
He's a 4th-round pick.
Darren Waller is a beast. He's huge.
I bet.
He's such a mismatch, too.
Yeah. Like, what, 6'7", 6'6"?
Who did they have? Just a quick question, brother. Who did they have most of the time when Darren Waller was kind of split out in the slot, or just in general? Who did they have covering Darren Waller most of the time?
Honestly, when he was split out, they had C.J. Gardner-Johnson on him often. And although there is a huge height and weight discrepancy, C.J. held his own. You know he's not backing down from Waller. But he would switch out. There were linebackers on him when he was on some of his short to mid routes, and even a safety. I think I remember seeing Ife Melifanu
he's a big boy
on him one time. He's just a big man. He's a big man. So he's just got to stay healthy, right? I don't know as much about the Giants' offense this year, but those 2 guys are good. But, yeah, the Lions' defense, they mixed emotions.
Yeah, bro, just really quick, break down the Giants' depth chart. No,
You're not going to happen.
Sam Flannel, you got something?
All right, so you talked about the Lions defense. There's one player in particular that kind of stood out when reading your article that you were very, very complimentary of, and that is Josh Pascal.
Yes.
So, Josh Pascal, tell me what you saw, and how important would it be for Josh Pascal to actually be a solid contributor on this defense? Could he be one of those guys that unlocks maybe a top 15, top 10 defense?
Without a doubt, I think so. If he plays how he's been showing flashes of in training camp, that's an added dimension to this defense and added versatility within the defensive line and linebacker crew that we maybe didn't expect to get as much of that production this year. But I've seen him in the backfield a lot, and that's coming both from an edge position but also inside playing a defensive tackle. Yesterday, and again, the whole defense didn't do great, and he didn't have a perfect practice either, but in the run defense, when the Giants were running the ball, I saw Josh Paschal not only take up a lot of space and sort of disrupt the Giants in the backfield, but also he was getting to the quarterback and causing Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor on some reps to have to weasel out of the pocket. And unfortunately, both of them are relatively mobile quarterbacks. Yeah. And one of the notes I had was we struggled with Tyrod Taylor. It was our second line defense going against Tyrod. So, there are a handful of runners, a handful of mobile quarterbacks on the Lions schedule coming up, including Lamar, Justin Fields twice, Bryce Young and Geno Smith even. So Josh Paschal, he's just been way more powerful than I thought. He's a strong dude. He is a strong man.
Broder, inject all the Kool-Aid in my veins.
Yes.
Like I love Josh Paschal.
Yeah.
Like these guys know I always hype him up. But another question I have too is you write about this linebacker core.
Yeah.
And that's been I guess the hardest position to really evaluate because you have Malcolm Rodriguez who had a great day, Derek Barnes who's making plays, you got Jack Campbell, Anzalone who the coaching staff trusts. Like, what are they going to do with this linebacker core? Like, who's been standing out the most?
It seems like they all have good days separately almost. I mean, yesterday I noted it was Malcolm and Derek Barnes had really solid days yesterday. Alex Anzalone has been kind of the steady presence in the middle, and Dan Campbell talked about him in his press conference yesterday as being that guy who can play all of the linebacker positions, and we know he's that leader of the linebacker crew at this moment, maybe until Jack Campbell continues to develop. But the emergence of Derek Barnes has brought that added element, that added competition to the linebacker room that maybe we didn't expect. Even if, on opening day or early in the season, the starting linebackers are Anzalone and Jack Campbell, we're going to see Malcolm and Derek Barnes a lot. Yeah. And I think we're going to see Derek Barnes a lot in maybe more of that hybrid linebacker edge position that we see James Houston working on. Romeo Pascal, Romeo Quara. We're going to see them use Derek Barnes and his sort of added versatility that we're seeing in a lot of different ways on this defense, coming off the edge and also in pass protection, which he looked good yesterday.
And another thing, too, just to ask, because I want Lucas to get a question in because I know he's got some questions as well. I'll leave the Laporta stuff to him because he's going to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
But at least from, the rookies, and Dan talked about the guys that impressed. Brian Branch.
Oh, dude.
Like, the dude, and I brought this up, I talked about it earlier. If you're a guy who you're flying around Saban's defense and he trusts you, as soon as you get into the, you start playing for him, right, as a freshman, he Saban, he's earned Saban's trust, he's made an impact, he's been a big part of that defense. He walks into this defense where their secondary was not great. It's going to be hard to get him off the field. Now you're seeing Tracy Walker with the second team. What's going on with that? Because Tracy Walker was the captain last year. So what's going on with the secondaries? Brian Branch, I don't think he'll be on the field day one.
He definitely will be on the field day one, whether that's on the opening play or not. Brian Branch is going to make a difference for this team way earlier than maybe some of us expected. And it's not a shot on Tracy Walker. Brian Branch has been getting those reps at the nickel position with the first team, moving C.J. Gardner-Johnson to safety alongside Kirby Joseph. This is more the bonus to have Tracy Walker come in with that second unit and quarterback that defense and be the leader in that secondary is huge. And I think that's gonna pay dividends for us all throughout the season. But Brian Branch has been sensational, man. Like the things he can do out there, his instincts. I think it was Barry Sanders a couple weeks ago. He said something, and I'm gonna paraphrase this, but it was about Jahmyr Gibbs, and it was about him being a fast player, but he was talking about the mental aspect and how smart Jahmyr Gibbs, and then his ability to diagnose his smarts allow him to play faster, allow his speed to show up even more on the field. I was thinking about that as it relates to Brian Branch too. Like he's that guy, like you mentioned, on the Alabama defense. He's been a starter since his freshman year. He's one of the smartest players on the defense already, and I think that's why we've seen him look faster in these drills or stick with wide receivers, slots, tight ends, be able to do so many different things on the field. His athleticism has surprised me way more than I thought. You know, the knock on him coming out was his 40 time, but he almost looks faster in pads, or at least maybe he's the guy who doesn't get slower when he puts pads on.
Right.
But his instincts and being able to, you know, whether it's tracking the running back, blitzing the quarterback, or just sticking with a slot receiver, which he's going to be matched up against, he's looked really freaking good.
What about you, Lucas? You got anything?
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of just put the poll up that I was going to ask my question. Outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, because I think him being the running back, he's going to get a lot of playing time, Broder, which Lions rookie do you think would be the safest to bet on having like a seamless rookie season, having a huge impact even as a rookie?
That's a tricky one.
From what you've seen so far.
Yeah. Since they haven't just given Jack Campbell that second starting linebacker spot, it's been hard. They've been splitting the reps up a lot. That would have been the one, maybe I would say, before training camp, that he would be the one making the most impact. The more I see him, Brian Branch, I think, is that dude. Like, the things he can do on Aaron Glenn's defense, the versatility he brings. You know, we've been talking on the heavyweights a couple times, the concept of positionless football, you know, coming over from positionless basketball, the way that game's turning into it. With Aaron Glenn, his ability or his strategy of a lot of man coverage in the secondary, a lot of blitzing, a lot of pressure on the quarterback, they've gone out and got guys who can fit that role, whether it's Brian Branch, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, even looking at the second team, a Will Harris, Chase Lucas, if he gets time at quarterback. He's fighting for one of those last spots.
Right.
There are these versatile defensive backs that can play. They can play corner, they can play safety, they can play nickel. Aaron Glenn's going to use them in so many different ways. So I think Brian Branch is just going to see the field more than everyone else because he's going to be able to play 3 different positions on that defense.
Yeah, you got to think with all the versatility they have, like there will be different packages where different guys are in there. Like Tracy Walker will be in one. Like there's going to be the option for these guys to play.
100%.
No doubt about it. Aaron Glenn will find a way to do that. I guess my final question for you is, and just to be objective here, anybody that disappointed you, anybody that didn't have a great day or have a great 2 days, the last 2 days.
You know, Julian Okwara is probably the easy one to
Jeff
target.
Didn't want to hear that.
And it's not because I saw him do anything outrageously bad or that he had a horrible practice, but it doesn't appear like he's taking that next step or making those strides. Even Romeo Okwara, who hasn't had a perfect training camp, he showed flashes of what he can be. He's had some good practices. He's had some good plays. Julian Okwara has shown a couple flashes, but he was one of those guys I just wanted to see more of him out there. So
right.
that's maybe who I would go.
Man,
with.
we appreciate you, Broder.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Look at Broder coming in, just dropping facts, and then he's gone. You know, he's like it's like the guy's a superhero.
He's a comment,
yeah, he's a comment. Exactly. No, we appreciate you, Broder. Where can people find you? Your social medias.
WoodwardSports.com. Hit up all the Woodward Sports socials, and my articles are right on the website. MattBro21 on Twitter, which some of the articles are linked to. So hit up Woodward Sports, and that'll lead you to the promised land. Yeah,
you can check out his latest article, Day 2, all his notes he observed from yesterday, some players that stood out, maybe some players that disappointed. You can check that out at WoodwardSports.com. We're going to go to break. Before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at SMA, the sports marketing agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, tell them or even yourself to head to thesportsma.com for more information.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here at woodwardsports.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Gabriella D. Phillips, Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, JB, Lucas Klotz. We're all here to start your Thursday off great. Follow us on our social media at Woodward Sports. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And if you're listening via podcast, don't forget to download this episode and leave a 5-star review.
Some more news that was coming out, at least yesterday, the last 2 days, and we didn't get a chance to ask Bro to this, but the thing that I've loved to see being reported, absolutely, I know you're going to love this too, Sam Flannel, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, 2 guys that were drafted last year, right, and 2 guys that were in the conversation for that number 2 overall pick. Now, I figured that Aiden will be gone at 1, so Kayvon was my selection. I never thought Aiden would fall to 2. And then Trayvon Walker appeared, and he's a pretty good player, but Aiden, the best player in the draft in my opinion, fell to you at 2. You took him, and now you look back, and there's the people that still fought for Kayvon Thibodeau in this market, in Detroit, at this network as well. I never did that. Aiden was the clear choice. It made too much sense. Now looking back, though, you look at both of the rookie years. Clearly, Aiden finished second in his in the Defensive Rookie of the Year. The race, and I know Kayvon Thibodeau missed a couple games because he was out early on with that knee injury that kept him out. But still, in 14 games, he had 13 quarterback hits, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And then you have Aiden, who in 17 games, 9.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, 15 quarterback hits, a couple pass deflections, a couple fumble recoveries. Like, Aiden was all over the place. And here's the thing that was the most impressive. Kayvon Thibodeau had a dude next to him in Dexter Lawrence.
Right.
Yeah, like somebody that consistently generated pressure from the interior. So for Kayvon, not saying he's some bum, but it helps, Lucas, to have a guy like Dexter who's wrecking a play most of the time. So it was being reported as well. This is Giants media, some outlets as also Detroit outlets. Kayvon didn't really stand out. He just didn't. And I'm not saying he's not a bum, but Aiden Hutchinson, the thing you look for with 2 guys that were taken that high, they have to stand out. And Kayvon Thibodeau did not. So looking back, I think it's safe to say the Detroit Lions made the right decision drafting Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, if you're Kayvon Thibodeau, and here's the thing. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think, is a damn good football player. He's not a bum. He had a very good rookie year, especially that game that he had against Washington. He had moments where he was dominant and highly impactful. But when you are the number 5 overall pick, when you showed a lot of flashes as a rookie, when you share a practice field with Aiden Hutchinson, who was drafted before you and had a better rookie season, you expected Kayvon Thibodeau to at least stand out on the Giants side of the defense. But from all reports, he just kind of blended in and looked relatively mid. And I don't know how much we should take from that, but at the same time, does it make me a little bit happier that we chose Aiden Hutchinson instead of Kayvon Thibodeau? Yes, it does. I'm not going to lie, because obviously I was as big of an Aiden Hutchinson fan as you'll ever find in the entire world, particularly at this network. So I, of course, was caping up for him to get drafted at number 2 overall after the Jacksonville Jaguars gave us the greatest gift of all by taking Trayvon Walker at number 1. Because I am a proud Aiden Hutchinson nuthucker. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I will wear that with pride for the rest of my life. But anywho, let's look at their rookie seasons looking back, because Kayvon Thibodeau, he was very, very good. But what do I always say about edge rushers? One of my favorite sayings that I have coined. It's not all about sacks, but it is a little bit about sacks. And Aiden Hutchinson had more than twice as many as Kayvon Thibodeau. And I know some people might say Kayvon Thibodeau missed 3 games, but availability is also a thing. And Aiden Hutchinson also started all 17 games. So I'm going to take that as a valid stat that Aiden Hutchinson had 9.5 and Kayvon had 4. Aiden Hutchinson had 3 more tackles for loss. Aiden Hutchinson had 2 more quarterback hits. So he had the better rookie season. And from all accounts, it looks as though Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson looked like a much better player at practice. And when you look at Aiden Hutchinson against Kayvon Thibodeau, another thing that I think is a little bit of a cause for concern for Kayvon, and I'm not going to look too much into this, but this could be a thing. Kayvon Thibodeau is in his entire career at Oregon and even his first year at New York, never had a double-digit sack season. He never had that really. No, he had 9, his most at Oregon. Which he had a lot of tackles for loss. But what did I just say about sacks? It is a little bit about sacks, and you would have expected him
at least in college too.
Well, yes, and at least at some point in his collegiate career, or even as his rookie year, to have more of a dominant sack season. Whereas Aiden Hutchinson in his last year at Michigan had 14.5. And Aiden Hutchinson, you can say that 9.5 isn't really a dominant sack season, but he did lead all rookies in sacks, including having more than twice as many as Kayvon Thibodeau. Go ahead.
Just to add on to that point, Flannel, Aiden Hutchinson was the most double-team defensive end outside of Myles Garrett last year. He was double-teamed 30% of the time.
Well, think about that though. He was the double-team rate, and if you take into consideration the Dexter Lawrence point I brought up. I mean, Dexter Lawrence. And I don't know, I saw a comment, I don't even want to give the man any credit here, but he mentioned Dexter Lawrence isn't some elite pass rusher. Never said he's Myles Garrett
or Leonard
Chris
Williams.
Jones. But what I'm saying is, yeah, Leonard Williams is solid too, but Dexter Lawrence had 30 quarterback hits last year. 30 quarterback hits, 7.5 sacks. He was an all-pro. Like, this guy, he's legit. He just got a bag. Like, and Aleem McNeil's is fine, and he had some great games last year, but he's not Dexter Lawrence. Like, Aiden doesn't have the same talent around him on the defensive line yet. I like some of the guys they have, but no one's came out and had a breakout year. I mean, James Houston looked nice, but he wasn't a guy you could play on every down. So for Aiden to do what he had to endure, be double teams as much as he was, be game planned for every game, and he still showed up, Sam Flannel, 9.5 sacks and 3 picks. Yeah, like, again, Kayvon Thibodeau can still be a fine player, but I think it's more impressive what Aiden did last year than Kayvon Thibodeau.
I mean,
that's facts.
At the beginning of the year, we had no idea that guys like Kirby Joseph, James Houston, and Malcolm Rodriguez would emerge. So Aiden Hutchinson, he was really kind of tasked with lifting up a morbid defense almost by himself. And of course, he had some struggles at the beginning of the year, but towards the end, after the emergence of some rookies and whatnot, the defense did get a lot better. And Aiden Hutchinson definitely looked like the best rookie in the class defensively, besides for Sauce Gardner. And one thing that I want to get to as well, 9.5 sacks as a rookie is actually pretty damn impressive, especially when you look at it historically.
Yep.
Because he had more sacks as a rookie than Myles Garrett did, Nick Bosa, TJ and JJ Watt, Bruce Smith, who's only the all-time sack leader ever, and DeMarcus Ware. So, and I also expect him to have that year 2 leap that every single one of the players I just mentioned on the list had. Maybe not as much as JJ Watt's going from 5.5 to 20.5, but I'd say from 9.5 to 13.5. And all this is not meant to discredit Kayvon Thibodeau.
No.
I think he's a very, very fine football player, but and I know this is kind of a petty nugget to throw in, and Lucas, you're going to love this because I know we've talked about this off air.
Legend killer.
Coming into the draft, there were no doubts about Aiden Hutchinson's motor and love for football. He was just a football guy. With Kayvon Thibodeau, and I think people were nitpicking a little bit, he was kind of seen as that guy who had other interests, who had his own cryptocurrency, who was kind of that...
I can't stand Kayvon Thibodeau off the field. Can't stand him.
Well, he was kind of that, like, Renaissance man who was just kind of happened to be good at football.
Right.
And me personally, and I know you're allowed to be interested in other things off the field, I want a guy who is as invested into football as Aiden Hutchinson. He lives for football. He breathes for football. Football for him is more important to him than eating food and breathing air. And with Kayvon, he's obviously very, very good. He obviously has some work ethic because he was able to get himself to be a top 5 pick in the NFL. I just don't think he's ever going to be what Aiden Hutchinson is. He's going to be a good player for the Giants. He's going to be impactful, but Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a future defensive player of the year and a superstar. With Kayvon, maybe multiple-time Pro Bowler at best. Maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I know the people are chiming in. Steve-O, baby, the Giants made the playoffs, didn't they? Short answer, yes. I don't know what that is in reference to.
I mean, the
but
Lions absolutely shut down the Giants when they played, if you want to go head-to-head like that. Aiden Hutchinson had an interception, and I think he had at least 1 sack in that game.
Yeah, he did. And Brandon Katz chiming in, oh, geez. Thibodeau played in the best division of football. The Giants had a much stronger schedule than Detroit. Dude, I mean, if you want to go back and judge like different players by the schedules they had, like, go produce. Like, act like Aiden, they played bombs every week. It's like, dude, you're going up against, guys that are pretty damn good NFL tackles. It's not like these guys are all bums. And for Aiden to get double
East, so they played the Commanders, the Eagles, Giants and Cowboys. It's almost like the Lions played all of those teams last year.
They did. And they did. And that's the problem I have. I don't want to discredit anything because of the schedule. Like, that's ridiculous. You look at statistics, you look at what they produce, you look at, again, the double team rate, the adversity each had to face. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and Aiden Hutchinson just came out on top. Like, he just did. 3 picks, 9.5 sacks. It is what it is. Had 3 against Washington, who Kayvon Thibodeau played twice a year.
Yeah,
like,
how many did Kayvon Thibodeau have against Washington?
He had a damn good game.
He actually had a good game, but not 3 sacks. I think he had like a sack or
and then
something
Aiden Hutchinson against Dallas, I believe, had how many sacks? I know he had at least 1.
I think he had 1.5.
So, and again, this isn't to take away anything from Kayvon, but like, dude, it's if you use your eyeballs and you watch, Kayvon might have a higher upside, which I think gets thrown around too much.
I don't even know about that.
He doesn't have a higher upside.
I don't think so.
No, upside based on, I guess, what he was coming out of college. Like, Aiden had a breakout year his final year of college. Like, Kayvon has always been super talented. I think Aiden just had to work extremely hard to get to where he is. Maybe that's why he's got more just God-given talent. But again, Aiden works his ass off, and he's 6'7", 260 with 0% body fat. Like, the guy's ridiculous. So I'm glad the Lions got that right, and that's credit to Brad Holmes. Yep. Like, again, Kayvon Thibodeau was the favorite on draft night. We were all down at Brass Rail. He was the favorite. People were throwing money on it. And they took Aiden Hutchinson, which I think they're happy with. Yep. They would not regret that decision.
They took Aiden Hutchinson, and Aiden Hutchinson will reward them by being the face of the franchise and a future Defensive Player of the Year when they are ready to win. And they're going to start winning this year, and Aiden Hutchinson will definitely have his first Pro Bowl, and he'll be knocking on the door of second-team All-Pro. I cannot wait to see it. I think the Lions made an excellent choice. Kayvon's going to be very, very good, but he's not going to be Aiden Hutchinson. I'd say the one guy from the top 5 that I could see busting is Trayvon Walker, because Kayvon Thibodeau, I'd say, objectively had a better rookie season than Trayvon Walker. The Jacksonville Jaguars, we might as well send them a Christmas card in return, because they gave us the best Christmas gift of all by letting Aiden Hutchinson fall to us, and Jacksonville doing what Jacksonville has often done, try to be the smartest man in the room, and I don't think it's going to work out for them. Yeah. Even though as a team they were good, they made the playoffs, Trayvon Walker is going to be mid. That's my prediction.
Aiden Hutchinson went to a team with less talent than Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yep.
Still produced more. Was double teamed more. Still produced more. And that's the crazy part too. And Aiden, there was ups and downs, right? There early in the season, he struggled a little bit, but when he turned on, he never turned it off, and that was till the end of the season, all the way till Sunday night, prime time football against the Packers. He still showed up. Still showed up when it mattered the most. So again, got a lot of love for Aiden, and I'm glad the Lions got that decision right. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. You look at Aiden Hutchinson, you're like, yeah, that's one of our foundational pieces, and we wouldn't regret it. I mean, that guy is someone you want to build around, no doubt about it.
Brad Holmes knows ball.
He does. Louis Riddick also knows ball. Brad Holmes knows ball as well. We'll go to break when we get back. I wanted to get into something just interesting and funny, because this was sent yesterday. People are out here getting Lions Super Bowl tattoos.
That's snorting the Kool-Aid. That's not drinking Kool-Aid. That's snorting Kool-Aid. That's injecting it into your veins right there.
I got to have therapist Jeff. I got to have therapist Jeff come out for a second, and we'll talk about maybe, are we getting a little out of hand with these expectations? Are we? Or is the Kool-Aid just all over the place and it's too late to go back now? I guess we'll find out. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at Guardian Alarm, because, guys, talk about Aiden Hutchinson. That's an elite player, but I'll give you an elite defense. Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. All you got to do is call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Tell them your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Twitter at woodwardsports.com. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. We're happy to have you here with us. If you're watching on YouTube, are you subscribed? You should subscribe. If you're listening via podcast, have you left a 5-star review? You should leave a 5-star review. Are you following us at Woodward Sports? You should follow us at Woodward Sports. You got it, Lucas. All right, now back to you, Jeff, because I can't keep asking these questions that are just obvious answers.
Well, and this is crazy, too. I mean, when you guys sent this, I don't know who sent it. Was it you, JB? Someone sent the tattoo.
I think I did send this one. Yeah.
JB always finds the gems, and like I saw this, and I didn't know if it was real or not. What the hell is this, guys? What are we doing,
baby?
What are we doing?
Oh.
2024, let's go,
guys.
What's the shirt on? What's he got going on?
Guys,
that is. I don't think that's easily like. You know how people will take their tattoos and they'll turn them into something else, maybe if it doesn't happen. I don't think that's happening here.
What the hell is this?
Shame on the tattoo artist, too. Because I'm assuming this is in the Detroit area.
Make some money, man. They're just trying to make some money.
Yeah, but let the man keep his pride.
That doesn't look like a cheap tattoo. I don't actually know how expensive tattoos are. Maybe Jeff could enlighten us, but.
Soft Jones. Soft Jones
says it's pretty expensive. Yeah.
Soft Jones says, "How much Mountain Dew does that man consume?" Yeah. That's messed up. This tattoo, I don't know how much this one costs. Probably like, man, I mean, to get that whole thing, easily like $500+. I don't know.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, with color. Yeah,
oh
you think so, JB?
Buy yourself some tickets to the game instead of doing that.
Like this thing had to be like half a G, if not maybe closer to a G. I don't know, but regardless, this man's all in. Like this dude. There's no going back for him.
I don't know if you guys saw. Did you see the person that put like $20 on Hendon Hooker to win the NFL MVP, and they'll cash out with like a ridiculous amount of money? I guarantee it was this dude. 100% has to be this guy.
I don't know though. I think this guy is probably a golf nut hugger. Do you think that's just as likely?
I mean, this guy
at that point you gotta be,
or a golf gobbler.
That's definitely one of those people. And again,
this guy's
no
gobbling.
Jared Goff slander. Right. But this is the guy that says Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback after what he saw from last season. He points to all the stats and the low amount of interceptions and all of that. So, hey, kudos to this guy for having this much faith. But last thing I would ever be doing, especially for 2024, is getting a Lions Super Bowl tattoo. Can it happen? Maybe. No, anything can happen.
This man ain't a golf gobbler. He's gobbling the whole 52-man roster with that tattoo, man. Like that.
He loves him some Sheila.
Yeah, well,
he loves him some Sheila.
That and I know people are saying, well, and Justin chiming in. Shout out to Justin, man, the legend. He says if it doesn't work out, he could just get a line through 2024 and add a new year underneath every year. I mean, yeah. I guess.
Just keep going down. It's like a scratch out number. 2025, scratch out 2026.
Like, and the question I have is this hype out of control? Like, at this point, tattoos, we got people throwing money on Hendon Hooker to win MVP. Like, what the hell are we doing? JB's got some cash on the NFC Championship game appearance, the Super Bowl appearance. Is that all you got, JB? NFC North as well?
Super Bowl appearance, NFC North winners, and NFC champs. I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, this is. No
tattoos.
Okay.
Spenny has some tattoos on the line. I know that.
Yeah.
If I forget if Jared Goff and the Lions win the NFC or something like that, he has to get a tattoo of Jared Goff somewhere.
Behind
for
the
real?
ear. Behind the ear. I think it's 16 behind the ear. And I think I'm pretty sure that's one of them.
Why?
He's got another one too. I can't think of what it is though.
It's a Dan Campbell thigh tattoo. I think if they win, I think that's just if they win the division, or is it if Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year? I'm not sure.
Spenny is like, okay, Spenny's all in.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's all in. He might be somewhat in denial. Like if he's willing to get a 16 tatted on him, because you know he does not like Jared Goff.
So a part of that, you think it's part of it's like he doesn't believe.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so
okay.
confident that Jared Goff will not take this team past the NFC Championship game type of thing.
Dude, this is hard for me because you guys know me. I've been a little scared, right? We've had this conversation. You guys have been trying to talk me into it. Not that I'm scared they won't win the division, right? I think so. And my philosophy is, listen, if you win the division, okay, you're gonna host a playoff game, and most likely you're gonna be favored in that playoff game. So I think by default, I think a playoff win should be expected. That's how I feel. Now, if we're talking NFC, we're talking Super Bowl, JG Super Bowl MVP. Let's run it back. Let's go 2-time next year. Like I'm not at that point. I'm not at that point yet. But I want to get the people's feel on this. Like, what do you guys think? Is this too much? Is the hype out of control, Sam Flannel? What do you think? You're a fair guy.
I am a fair guy. I, like you, if you want to say Stoke not scared to win the division and win a playoff game, I am right there with you. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I certainly don't think that they're going to win it. And I certainly would never in a million years get a tattoo commemorating it before it even happened. That is a little bit crazy. But I'm actually going to speak to something that our very own Darren McCarty said yesterday on Big D Energy that I thought was very, very interesting. The Lions, we as Lions fans have not really had this before, this insane amount of hype before a season. Thank you, Sheila. Are we getting a little bit overboard? Absolutely we are, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, if anybody puts any money on Hendon Hooker to win MVP or gets a Super Bowl tattoo, that is absolutely insane. But aren't we all kind of enjoying this a little bit, as Darren McCarty would say? It's fun. Why not there's really nothing to lose by getting a little bit out of control. I mean, your dignity if you get a tattoo, but most of us are just excited about the season. And the most excited we've ever been to watch a Detroit Lions football team ever. So I'm going to choose to keep my expectations limited to just a playoff win or it's a failure. But if you wanna have expectations for them to get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, or anything like that, as long as you don't get a tattoo, I'm okay with that because it's not outside the realm of possibility. Nobody's looking at that and being like, oh my God, you should get your head examined for saying the Lions can get to the NFC Championship game. It is very possible depending on how things fall in the playoffs. So I think we should all just enjoy as Darren McCarty would say, enjoy the journey and just enjoy the hype because we've never experienced this before. There's no handbook on how to handle this as a Lions fan. We all have our ways of dealing with it.
Hold up, what the hell is this, Lucas?
What's up?
The hell is
the
this?
people wanted it. I want to hear.
What is this?
This is a Lucas poll. I want to see what the people think here.
What is Jeff more scared of? Lions success or the bumblebee at the golf outing? It wasn't a bumblebee. Let's get that clear.
What was it then? It was no wasp. You want to go with the honeybee instead? Those things are smaller than bumblebees.
Maybe it was a bumblebee. But regardless, regardless, this is messed up. This is messed up right here. I'm more scared of Lions success.
Hey, we're just running up the algorithm. We're getting on the SEO.
I'm more scared.
Getting some interaction.
You know what, though?
That's all it is.
If I'm being real, I'm scared of being vulnerable about the Lions. I really am. Like, I don't know. I'm scared to go out on a limb and be like, you know what? We should expect a Super Bowl yet. And
you don't even have to be like, oh, we should expect a Super Bowl. But
then what?
You kind of like contradict yourself sometimes because you'll be like, if this team gets in the playoffs, I think they can win a wild card game. And then once they win a wild card game, if Eagles-Niners play, then there's a road. I can see it. And then I don't think it's happening.
No, it's not that I don't think there's no way, but everything has to go right. But that has to happen for every team. That's a common thing. Of course, you need a little bit of luck. The only way, and you mentioned it to me, what if the Eagles and the 49ers play each other in the divisional round? Okay, now I'm listening. But we don't know if that's going to be the case.
What if we don't know? Philly, for the most part, I mean, I know Jalen Hurts and Dallas got banged up towards the end of the season. For the most part, Philly was fairly healthy. I think it's very hard to keep all those players healthy, especially the way the offenses ran. So Philly, they could have an injury-riddled season coming up. I think San Fran always has the potential. They're really good, and then they always have a key injury. They always have seasons that kind of fall apart because of injuries. They have been very good in the past, and their whole roster gets wiped out. Injuries can happen. Lines are very deep at a lot of positions. I'm just saying.
And like Sam said, it's about having fun, right? Trying to enjoy this feeling of being in the conversation, being one of the better teams in your conference, which just isn't common. But Gabrielle, you see the tattoo. I mean, what do you think? Lions expectations? Fair? Out of control?
Gabby, are you getting that tat?
I was just going to ask that too.
No, I'm the most indecisive person. But if I could be decisive about one thing, it would be that I would not be getting this tattoo. Nothing against the Lions organization. I'm not putting any tattoos on my body, let alone a Lions tattoo with this year for the Super Bowl.
Would you get a wings tattoo?
No. No, I'm not a tattoo person. Yeah. I'm so indecisive and not great with commitment, and that's exactly what a tattoo is, and I can't do it.
How about a Florida State tattoo?
Oh, no, I can't do it. No tattoos. But my opinion on this tattoo and all of the hype is that I just look to my dad, who has been a Lions fan for his entire life. He's in his 50s, and he's been diehard Lions fan, and man, I just remember when I was younger seeing the emotional roller coaster that he subjected himself to year after year, and wondering when I was younger, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why are you so upset every Sunday when you know what's going to happen at the end of the day? So that image is a little bit burned in my mind when I think about our Detroit Lions and the fan base and what they've been through.
That's called grit. That's called grit. Sticking
And
through it.
I really hope for them that this is the year, because I think there's not a fan base out there that deserves it more and that has been more loyal. But I think they're a little burned, and I think they should be, and I think they should be a little bit hesitant to jump into the Kool-Aid pool.
And that's the part I guess I can't seem to get to, is like a playoff win I expect, right, Lucas? That's what I think will happen, and then divisional round, that to me is like.
Is that your ceiling?
Okay, here we go with the ceiling talk again. It depends. It depends who they play. It depends, who's in. There's so many things that go into it. If you talk about ceiling, of course, a ceiling, if, like I said, and we talked about this. Listen, hold on, I'm getting there. The 49ers and the Eagles play each other. If everything goes right, I could see an NFC Championship appearance. I can. Okay. But again, it depends how things shape up. Realistically, though, I expect a playoff win. I think that's a great step in the right direction. I think for people who, like this dude who gets a tattoo that says Super Bowl champs,
here's a good way to measure it.
Okay.
Do you think the floor for the Lions, like their absolute floor, is a playoff win? Because then I don't think you're scared, because you think they're locked for the playoffs, in my mind. So
yeah, we can
kind of ease you out of this here.
Yeah, okay, that's
playoff
fair.
Win floor.
Yeah.
I don't think that's scared, so we'll let you off the hook for now, Jefferson.
Okay, all right. I live to see another day. Thank goodness. We'll go to break. We get back. We got trivia to get to. Me and Sam Flannel, because tomorrow is the Lions preseason game, first preseason game. So it'll be a lot of football tomorrow. We'll get to some trivia, and then we'll get to what's trending with Lucas, as you guys know. So before that, though, JB, you can tell us about our friends over at Big Boy.
I got you, because Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items like the strawberry high cakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffles. But if you're not feeling breakfast, try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or cool off with their refreshing summer splash salad. But don't leave Big Boy without getting some dessert, because they've got the very delicious classic strawberry pie, the deep fried vanilla Oreos, and of course, that strawberry hot fudge cake, and so much more at your local Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, like the YouTube stream on YouTube if you're tuning in live. We appreciate you. We'll try to get to 130, 140, hell, maybe even 150 by the end of the segment. We'll see what the people think. If we can get to that number, we'd be very gracious. But don't forget, if you can't listen or tune into the stream live, you can go back and re-listen to the podcast on any podcast platform you have. Morning Woodward Show, leave a 5-star review. And Justin's quick, man. Like, Justin already put the clip of me saying he won't stop, this guy won't stop coming. Pause earlier. He clipped it and put it in our group chat already. So these guys are, man, you cannot mess up on this network. They will get you very quickly.
Yes, they will.
But it's time to get to some trivia. Gabby, what do we got for today?
Today, trivia will be Detroit History Edition.
Oh,
So
jeez.
let's see how well you know our city. All right, are we ready?
Yep. We're ready.
Time to
don't
redeem yourself,
know.
Jeff, to know something other than Barbie.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough.
Question number 1. How many other cities in America are named Detroit? A, 30, B, 14, C, 6, or D, 11?
Ooh. How many other cities in America are named Detroit? Mm-hmm. If it's 30, I'm going to be livid. Let's go.
There could be no way.
I'm locked in.
Locked in?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
D.
C.
The answer is D.
Wow.
Yeah, you know,
starting off strong.
What can I say?
What can I say? I just know like
I know
that.
every city named Detroit in America.
There you go. Can you let us know what states those are in?
We'll get to that at a later time.
damn
Okay.
straight,
We'll get to that.
Flannel.
Maybe I
Can't,
could,
can't
another
take up
day.
too much of the trivia
Yeah,
time.
right.
Okay. What year was Detroit founded? 1845, 1707, 1737, or 1804?
Oh, jeez.
I'll lock in.
Of course you will. You
Historian
freaking
Flannel.
encyclopedia. All right. What year was it founded? This is tough. Maybe I should have this one. I mean, I host a show in Detroit or in this
That
market.
would make sense, wouldn't it, Jeff? It's almost like you'd be good at your job if you did it.
Lucas.
You ass. What year was Detroit founded? Yeah, of course. I have the answer. Let's go. Let's do it.
2, 1.
D.
C.
The answer is B.
Oh, we both took an L. 1701.
Wow.
I would have guessed B.
Oh, yeah. Well, the chat knows, but luckily the chat knows Detroit history better than us. Yeah, that's
Don't help
bad.
them, Chad.
All
Don't
right.
help them. All right. What is Detroit's birthday?
Oh,
A,
gosh.
July
We
24th.
just celebrated this.
Yeah. Oh, it
B,
did just
July 17th.
No.
C, July 27th. Or D, July 21st.
Oh, this is a Hail Mary because I know we
I'll
just
lock in. I'll lock in.
celebrated this.
I'll lock in.
Hold up. Can you see the?
Yeah,
okay, I gotta look at the
I got-
answers.
no, I got
Yeah,
you,
throw
I
it
got
up.
you.
Throw it up one more time. We just celebrated this. All right, this is a 50-50 shot. Let's go. All right.
3, 2, 1.
C.
What is it?
It's A.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I promise. I'm not even gonna act like I knew that. I knew
Damn.
I knew the general area.
process of elimination.
It was either A or B, and I went with A. I knew it was one of the
Man.
two. I just don't know. We posted a graphic, and I remember seeing the graphic. I had to go back and dig in that one. That was tough. I'm not even gonna act like I know these things. I just guessed. All right.
Got lucky.
Quite honest.
All right.
No.
Next up, what does the word Detroit mean in French?
Oh shit.
Detroit. Detroit. A, by the river. B, land of lakes. C, straight.
Oh
D,
my gosh.
middle city.
I'll lock in.
Yes, sir.
No hesitation out of Flannel.
I know the man knows French. Okay. I got it. Why not?
What? What did you just say? 2, 1.
B.
A.
C,
Oh,
What's
damn.
C?
straight.
Oh.
Wait,
that?
what? Repeat the answer.
C,
Damn.
You mean straight?
straight.
Like that's literally all it means?
Straight.
What the hell is straight, dude? Why can't it be Land of the Lakes? That sounds badass. If it was called Detroit was Land of Lakes.
I bet Toledo has a better French word than that.
No,
straight.
Toledo sounds like a burrito. I don't know what the hell they got going on. What the hell does
Yo,
Toledo mean?
let's not your burrito. It probably is. Where you take the bacon off and you
Shut up! I love bacon. Don't come between me and my bacon. All right. All right.
Straight is a narrow passage of water connecting two seas or two large areas of water.
Not my best day. Not my best day.
Interesting.
Because it's not S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, it's S-T-R-A-I-G.
It should be Land of the Lakes. Land of Lakes. That
would
sounds
be, yeah.
badass. Detroit, Land of Lakes.
Whoever was making the answers there, they were kind of cooking the multiple choice answers.
Shout out to intern Katie. She has been crushing all of the trivia lately, and couldn't do it without her. And today's actually her last day. So
shout out to her.
Shout out to Katie.
Okay, so next up we have, when was Detroit the capital of Michigan? From 1779 to 1832, from 1805 to 1847, from 1855 to 1900, or it never was?
I will lock in.
I'm gonna lock in here.
3, 2, 1.
D.
The answer is B, from 1805 to 1847.
Flannel's stressing. You're getting cooked, Flannel.
I've got nothing.
This ain't no Barbie trivia anymore, Flannel.
No, I'm losing my image. I'm losing my reputation, man.
Still a close race.
Okay. And this is like beating Chat GPT. So if I'm taking down Sam Flannel with some of these
there's
trivia.
really no
You know-
analytics with these. This is more like dates.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he must not, the calculator in his brain must not update to that.
Well,
It's
Jeff,
got like iOS 7 when he needs iOS 13 or something like that.
Well, Jeff Iafrate, just remember, in 2016, not only did the Cavs come back from 3-1, they also came back from 2-0. So
There we are. There we are.
Okay, Sam.
Okay,
Flannel.
let's see if you
go.
can do it here. In the 70s, who coached the University of Detroit basketball team? A. Eddie Miles. B. Dave Bing. C. Dick Vitale. Or D. Don Sicko.
I got it.
I'll lock in.
3, 2, 1.
C.
Fantastic. Sam Flannel is on the board
3-1.
now.
Yep,
that
3-1.
boy, Flannel, we're proud of you.
That was
3-1.
we knew that was Dick Vitale. All right, we knew
right.
that one.
Sports related.
Yep.
What year was Verner's founded?
Then we go right to Verner's.
1866, 1916, 1892, or 1903?
I think I'll lock in.
What year was Verner's founded?
Is this like a big Michigan thing that I just haven't caught on to yet?
Yeah.
Have you had a
yeah.
Verner's yet?
I can't stand Verner's. My dad used to give it to me when I was sick, and I would just spit it out. Like, I want nothing.
Really?
Ginger ale in general is just trash,
wha-
man. I'm
ginger
sorry.
ale.
Why are you
Clearly, you're from Ohio.
Why are you soft? You don't
Why
like
am I
Verner's?
soft? No, I just have normal taste palates. And when that gets on my tongue, I'm like, get this out, Nate.
Pause.
No way.
All right, let's.
No way.
What answers we got?
Oh, yeah. Let's
What are the
hop
answers?
back.
I couldn't see them.
A,
Thank you, Stephen A.
1866, B, 1916, C, 1892, or D, 1903?
I'm still locked in.
Oh my God, Verner's.
All
man.
right.
All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
C.
The answer is A.
Let's go! Aaron Rodgers, Hail Mary, bitches. Let's go. Throwing it up.
Hey, man,
Throwing it up.
So you found your Richard Rodgers.
Yeah. Let's go. Come down with it, Calvin Johnson.
Wow.
Jeff
Okay.
just happy to get Barbie trivia out of here.
Okay. All right. Slow your roll here. All right.
Let's humble him real quick.
I'm taking
Bring him back down to earth.
Dude, I'm swinging. My average is looking
Yeah, you're
good,
looking- yeah.
Sam Flannel. My batting average is looking good.
Shohei right now.
Hey.
But I have to know, how long is the Ambassador Bridge? A, 5,320 feet. B, 6,870 feet. C, 7,490 feet. Or D, 8,000 feet.
Detroit Dabber 313 says, Jeff, never make an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary reference again. My apologies. We'll move
caught
on
up
here.
in
This is the one
moment
that goes to
and
Canada, I'm
slipped up.
assuming?
Yeah. Well,
I'll lock in.
I don't know the Ambassador Bridge, the feet. This is, damn it. All right, I'm ready. Let's see, boys. Let's see if we got it. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
D.
The answer is C.
Are you kidding? Let's go. I don't know any of these. I'm not trying to act like I know any of these.
happening
I'm
here?
guessing. And this is like the
You're
old.
cooking, Hefe.
This is like the old Scantron, dude. You're just like A, B, C, A, D, A. Like that's what I'm doing right now, and it's working. Kids, don't copy this.
Don't
all right,
worry.
please study.
You have time for a comeback.
I do. Okay.
There's
Oh,
16
that-
questions today.
Sam
On
Flannel.
Question 10.
is
So
bad.
you gotta really pull it together here. Okay. Besides Motown music, what else was developed in Detroit? A, pop. B, gospel. C, classical. Or D, techno.
Lock in.
Yeah, I guess lock it. I mean, I've been guessing and get these right, so that's,
Okay.
this
I'm
one I
locked
might know
already.
though. This one I might
This
know.
one I think is one of the easier ones.
Oh, don't do that,
Yeah.
because now I'm gonna get it wrong. All
Ready?
right,
3, 2, 1.
D.
C.
The answer is D.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Techno.
Flannel's
You
on
hear
his
it?
way
Footsteps,
back.
Jeff
Have you not heard of
Iafrate.
movement?
Hearing footsteps.
What else was developed in Detroit? Wow, I didn't know Detroit got down like that. Techno. Okay,
DJ Godfather.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
All of these celebrities are from Detroit, except who?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I think this is a tricky one.
A, Jalen Rose. B, Jennifer Hudson. C, Lizzo. D,
Better not
Ken
be Lizzo.
Jeong.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna lock in.
I'm
lock
locking
in.
too.
3, 2, 1.
C.
B.
The answer is B.
She's from Chicago, isn't she?
Jennifer
Let's go.
Hudson.
Let's go.
Okay.
You feeling
Lizzo?
footsteps. You feeling
Lizzo's from
footsteps.
Detroit?
I guess
Yes,
so.
Lizzo
That's
is
what
from
Katie
Detroit.
says.
Toledo's got one thing on Detroit, baby. We don't claim Lizzo. You guys can have Lizzo.
I mean, I'd rather not.
We'll take the crack pipes. You keep Lizzo.
We'll send you Lizzo.
Can we trade? I'd actually trade crack pipes for Lizzo.
Yeah.
No, that's
Especially with all these new allegations coming out of her.
I would
that's
offer you Lizzo for like a 7th rounder. Just take her.
Yeah, Gabby, aren't those
Salary dump.
allegations, Lizzo's allegations about her fat shaming people, like saying how they're fat?
Okay, so they're saying weight shaming. So I don't know if it's that these individuals are overweight or underweight, but that's part of it. And then there's also like sexual misconduct.
Ooh.
With her bringing her crew and cast to the red light district when they were abroad and had them
Lizzo
partaking
has sexual misconduct.
Had like kind of allegedly coerced them into participating into some things that they did not want to, and then I guess it was a multiple time occurrence.
Yeah, that's
she can feed like a family of 20s Thanksgiving dinner just by herself. She has no room to talk about anybody's weight, and the fact that she has sexual allegations blows my mind. I mean, if she can get laid, anybody could.
Well,
no excuses out there anymore, fellas. No excuses.
Lucas spitting some facts right now. We're going to break. When we get back, we'll continue trivia. But
see if Sam can make a comeback.
But before, I hope not. I'm hot right now. I don't know if I can keep this lead right now, though. We'll see. Gabby, can you tell everybody about our friends over at Randy Wise?
Yeah, Randy Wise is where you can go and make the wise choice for your next vehicle. Check out all of our episodes for the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, now available on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Check out that playlist. There is going to be a new episode coming soon with Darren McCarty and Braylon Edwards. And then head on down to Randy Wise and get yourself into a celebrity-level vehicle.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Let me tell you about our friends over at the Academy of Warren, because they got a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome fieldhouse that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7. They got great features like a small classroom sizes for your children, as long as also along with that is futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, which is always great, academic games, and then K-8 athletics. Don't forget that Ermanni and Edwards will be broadcasting from their carnival on August 24th. Come meet the staff, explore your child's new school. Don't forget the Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to theacademyofwarren.net for more information.
All right, we're coming down to the wire here. 5 questions left. It is 5-3. Let's see what you can make happen here, guys.
All right, so this is possible, Sam Flannel. Like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. This is what we're working with here.
Just
anything is possible. So I can't let Sam Flannel come back.
At one point, I was down 3-1, so I'm channeling my inner LeBron.
Well, I just can't go home and tell people that my only victory in trivia was Barbie. I just can't do that. That can't happen.
This is more than just an average trivia for Jeff. This is pride.
Yeah, like everything's on the line here. Like I'm giving it my all, Sam Flannel. All right, what do we got, Gabby?
What does Campus Martius mean? A, Field of Mars. B, City Center. C, Town Square. Or D, Gathering Space.
What can I get some context for this? Again, I'm not following. What
Campus Martius is a location in Detroit.
Okay.
Very popular.
I'll lock in.
This is a tough one. I got it. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
C.
D.
A, Field of Mars.
Really?
Why?
No clue.
Wow.
Really
okay.
unsure the context behind it, but
You still have your lead, Jeff. Don't
that's
worry.
going to throw you off for sure.
We break even there, so that's good.
Yeah.
If I get it wrong, Sam has to get it wrong as well.
All right. Damn. What are the mile roads measured from? A, the Detroit River. B, the border with Canada. C, Campus Martius. Or D, Ohio, the land of Lucas.
I think I got it. Lock in.
It better not be Ohio. I don't want nothing to do with you guys. All right.
Well, I'm right here.
Well, I'm here, bud.
Too late.
Can I put the answers up one more time? Let me get my final answer. All right, this one.
Hold
on.
Diva.
Okay. All right.
You're basic.
3, 2, 1.
A.
The answer is C. Campus Martius.
Wow, Campus Martius.
The Field of Mars? Stupid. Campus Martius. I'm glad.
The Field of Mars.
All right.
Stupid.
Moving on. Which of these was not invented in Detroit? A. Paint by numbers. B. Asian corned beef.
Asian corned
C.
beef.
Radio news. Or D. The electric dishwasher.
Oh my! Imagine someone just be like, "Hey,
it's so random. It has to be in Detroit."
It's like, "Hey, man, this Asian corned beef is delicious. You know it's from Detroit, actually. Like it was invented here." I've never heard anybody say that. Paint by numbers. What the hell is that?
What?
It's
you don't know
paint
what
by
that is?
numbers.
So like a number is associated with paint color, and then in the
Oh,
drawing
okay.
it has numbers, and then you paint where the number is.
And
that
then
color.
a radio news, obviously, and then electric dishwasher. Okay, interesting. I really want to pick Asian corned beef just to pick it, but I don't know.
You're looking at me.
all right.
You're looking at me like I'm gonna give you an answer, and I'm not giving you
Asian corned beef? Oh no, dude! All right, hold on. One more time. One more time.
come on.
Please,
Please.
dude,
What
please.
is there? What is you have an?
All right.
Paint by numbers, Asian corned beef, radio news, or electric dishwasher.
Asian freaking corned beef. All right, go. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
D.
C.
Answer is D.
Oh my God! Wait, the electric dishwasher? Asian corned beef was invented here?
You guessed that?
Asian.
That is like so random.
Yeah,
That
I just
is, like,
I figured
has
I've
to be
never
from
I've
here.
never ever heard anybody say, yeah, the electric dishwasher was invented here.
Have you ever heard
Asian
anybody say
corn-
Asian corned
Well,
beef?
that one here. This is what I've learned about trivia. When something's obvious, it's not it. Like Asian corned beef is the obvious answer, right? Like I should have
So
picked
you
that one, but I knew something was fishy. Because
I'm
of
disappointed.
course they
This
put
isn't how
Asian
you
corned
play
beef.
with the lead. You're doing a Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta versus New England right now.
Of course they're gonna put Asian corned beef because then you'd be like Asian corned beef, and of course it was invented here.
Flannel's gonna
Electric
come back.
dishwasher though, that one is too. That's a California invention. Like that's somewhere or New York. Like electric dishwasher. Like I never heard of Detroit inventing that.
Well, they have to have the coal dishwasher, the coal
Like, that's some
power, like
fancy-
the
You've heard
blue
Detroit
power
inventing all the
dishwasher?
other things?
I mean Asian corned, I guess. Asian corned beef. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
There you have it. All right, which of these movies was not filmed in Detroit? A. Batman vs. Superman. B. Ferris Bueller. C. Transformers. Or D.
I know this
Scream
one.
4.
Lock in.
So, oh God, of course.
I can't win. You have an You have an insurmountable lead.
Oh, we have one more.
Wait, it's 5-3, right?
6-3.
No, 6-3.
Oh, I thought,
Yeah,
okay,
Jeff,
all
you're
right,
in
all right,
safe
all right.
territory.
Well, I know Transformers was. All right, go. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
B.
Correct.
Formed
You're
in
both
Chicago.
Yep.
Or like
Yep.
yeah.
I knew that one.
Had a
Very
scene at
good.
Wrigley Field.
We were cooking today. All right.
Hey,
All right.
you got lucky.
Guys.
You got the hot streak at the beginning.
I threw everything, including the kitchen sink, to win this thing. Like I'm
Just not Asian corned beef.
Dude, I almost picked it, but I knew something was up. Like that one was set up for me specifically because I see Asian corned beef. I'm thinking I'm gonna pick it, but no, that was a slide one. You know,
Not
it had to
falling
be.
for the tricks anymore.
No, I can't because I've done that before. Like where there's prior trivias where I'm like, this one, what the hell is this? And it ends up
So
not even being
one
it.
could say you didn't pick it, so your name's not Kenny.
Oh my God, Matt Broder! Look what you've done,
He
Matt
may have
Broder.
lost trivia, but he's winning.
Flannel's
the
now
dad
docked
jokes.
a point. It's 6-3. 6-3.
All right.
Hey, Sappy Johnson says I gotta try Asian corned beef. Yeah,
Shoot, I want to try Asian corned beef.
yeah. I don't know the
I
Asian
wonder
corned beef.
where it originated, if we can order it from there.
I
Like,
don't
still
even.
exists. Like, was that at the store?
Asian
I
corned
don't know.
beef. Has anybody tried it? Like in the chat, woodwardsports.com. Like if you have, give me a review. I guess. Like I'll never try it, but if it's made here, hey.
You just flat out, you'll never try it?
I don't know. I don't like.
Are you
corn.
a picky eater?
Uncultured.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky.
No surprise there.
And
diva.
my girlfriend will always get me to
Hollywood.
try new things, and I'm like, nah, I don't
wanna do
I don't like that. You know, I don't
I'm
like
gonna stick
that.
to my chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
No, not that. No, no, I'm not that bad. Those kids who you go out and you get chicken tenders. No, I don't do that. But Asian corned beef, like, have you ever walked into a place and went, "Give me the Asian corned beef"?
No,
Lucas?"
but if they were like, hey, Lucas, just cooked up some Asian corned beef, you want to try it? Yeah. Never had it before, I'll try it.
Yeah, like Ryan. Jeff is a meatball and spaghetti guy. Hey, you know about that. Spaghetti
your
and pizza.
chicken nuggets.
Pasta and pizza. No
He's a
chicken
Fruity Pebble
nuggets.
guy. He
You
put
don't like
sugar on his
chicken
Fruity
nuggets?
Pebbles in his
I don't
cereal
mind
for
chicken
breakfast.
nuggets, but I don't. Like, if I go to McDonald's, I'm not gonna be like, give me a 6-piece and a fry. Like, I'll just get.
Just
I'll
please
get, like,
take the bacon off, please.
I love bacon. These guys. Okay, whoever doesn't understand that inside joke, there's Birmingham roast over here, which is great. They have great food, great coffee, and I got the breakfast burrito.
He didn't got it.
I get it. It's good.
Continuously like
and
this.
I get some additions on there, and I might take the bacon off, but I love bacon. I know it doesn't make sense, but Lucas, you're lying. I like bacon.
I'm not lying. You take bacon off and you leave the spinach on. That's disgusting behavior. You need to be checked into a mental ward for that. Because and the thing you blame it on is because the chicken's flimsy and you have spinach in there. That's a whole leaf. Just tell them to do the bacon crispy.
Yeah, that's okay. Now that's fair. I'll get them to do the bacon crispy. I just don't like when it's chewy and then your burrito falls apart. I don't know. Maybe I'm Hollywood. But I'm not more Hollywood than Easy.
Yeah, you're not dropping.
Who has Panay Sewell in his phone? That's Hollywood right there. And then mentions it briefly.
And then says that Micah Parsons is better.
And then mentions Micah Parsons is better. Yeah, Micah Parsons is better, but also I have Panay in my phone. I could text him if you want.
All right, there's one more trivia question though.
One more.
All right,
we'll
what
close
do we
it
got?
out. Nothing too crazy. Which of these companies was founded in Detroit? A. StockX, B. Allstate, C. Welch's, or D. Getty Images.
Getty Images. That's the most random thing ever. Okay, I'm ready.
I'll lock in.
3, 2, 1.
B.
A.
Dude, I'm on fire, dude.
Wow.
Cool me off.
Final score is 8-4.
That was a beatdown. I took it.
Sam's just gonna look in the mirror after
he's
this.
just taking the L.
Sam's just gonna look in the mirror, have some self-reflection. Like, what did I do today?
The man in the mirror. He's not gonna know how to. He's not gonna know how to live with himself
The
anymore.
man in the
Only
mirror.
one that I can blame is you right there. Me. That man right there.
Sam Flannel, I just want to say thank you for just at least, boosting my ego a little bit. My only win was in Barbie, so please, just let me have this moment.
Oh, dude.
okay, all right. That's why I love you. 8
Gracious
Mile.
and
What the hell is this?
You're 8 Mile. You're Rabbit.
I'm Rabbit.
There you go.
Be rabbit. Be rabbit.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right, we'll go to break. When we get back, we'll do what's trending with Lucas. Then we'll get to mailbags. So get your questions ready. But before we do that, we got to hear about our friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Oh, Swiss Insurance, absolutely. And now that summer is here, it is important to make sure you are properly covered, whether it's a grad party or just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool. Your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure you are protected from an unexpected loss. Check us out at swissins.com or call Mark today at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
Again.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Go. All right, 3, 2.
Hey, it's Chris Hansen, Woodward Sports. Let's go.
Man, I love it. You know what's just almost as great as Chris Hansen? Syntron giving you a 100K trip to Vegas. That's pretty great too, I'll tell you that. Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and you're entered to win the 100K Vegas getaway. Drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Buy a Syntron at your local Meijer store. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. Drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Man, I love that. And every time we do what's trending now, it's becoming a routine that you play that Chris Hansen clip.
It's my favorite clip.
Because it just signals that great things are coming for what's trending with Lucas. Guys, check the time. You know what time it is. 9:42. It's what's trending with Lucas. Lucas, what do you got for us?
Indeedo. And JB helped me out with this one. He showed me this video yesterday. And again, I couldn't get the background pulled up for it, but it's really not needed. Liz Cambridge, WNBA All-Star, whatever you want to call it, if you want to consider that an All-Star. But either way, they were going against Team Nigeria. And it's a lot to unpack. I can't really put into words, but shout out JB for this one.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
A few moments later.
I hope so.
Oh!
This is what the NBA needs right here. WNBA, I should say. This would put the ratings through the roof. Through the roof.
Coach Walk 37, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's fair. Now, that was like a Superman punch from the top row. So, I mean, JB's got the AEW shirt, so, I mean, JB, you know about this. What do you think? What would you rate that? What was the technique looking like? What do you think?
Nice technique, good follow through on that. I got to give it a solid 7, but you know, Draymond's was a little bit better.
Yeah, no doubt. And for that one, I guess, I mean, this is the spice that, you know, you really see, but it's kind of badass if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of like Liz Cambridge was sort of playing the Debo role and just bullying everybody who is smaller than her and who can't play basketball like her. So, I never want to see anybody kind of sucker punch like that, but still, I didn't hate it. I wasn't too mad.
She got her get back. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you get smacked in the face, and you have to face the consequences, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. And something that teams are going to have to face the consequence of is Jahmyr Gibbs this year. And yesterday, we got some video of Taylor Decker talking about him. He kind of said what he expects out of him and what he sees from Jahmyr Gibbs so far.
Yeah, but he's got a special burst, and seen him be a little shifty, make guys miss, and happy to have him.
So my question to you guys, there's a lot of video going out. I don't know if you guys seen it. I can try to find it here when we do the mailbag just to play up while we're doing it. Of David Montgomery fumbling.
Yeah.
He had that strip. He got stripped pretty bad yesterday. And again, I think that was more so just a good play by the defender.
Oh, yeah. Took his
more
lunch
so
money.
than David Montgomery's fault. Like, I mean, yeah, it's David Montgomery's fault, but that was a hell of a play by the defender. Do you think we'll go playoff time, so we have the full regular season. Do you think Jahmyr Gibbs, by the end of the season, will be this team's clear RB1?
You said Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep. Over David Montgomery. Because I think going into the season, you got to put David Montgomery as the RB1, 100%.
So,
and this isn't any like diss on David Montgomery either.
No, and I guess it depends on a lot of different things. It depends on health, but also trust in David. I don't know if that fumble, like, you'll see those things, but I think as the regular season comes along, that David Montgomery will establish himself, and we'll know, I mean, like, David Montgomery will return to the form we saw in Chicago, but behind a much better offensive line. So I don't want to base off one fumble. Like, it's Jahmyr's job to lose now. I mean, Jahmyr's going to be more involved in the passing game. He'll be more involved. I think David Montgomery's a good pass catcher, but Jahmyr, he might get more touches entirely, but David Montgomery's going to get more carries. I'm going to stand by that. I don't think that changes.
You know, I think by the end of the year, Jahmyr Gibbs will be the clear RB1, and you all can speak for yourself. I am going to slander David Montgomery a little bit, as I have before. I'm not saying that David Montgomery is bad. He was a slight upgrade over Jamal Williams, but slight. And Jahmyr Gibbs is more talented.
I don't know. Slight. I'll let you have it, Flannel, because it's not like there's a drastic difference. But slight, I don't agree with.
I don't know. You guys are acting like we're getting Walter Payton 2.0.
well, in this comment, Charles McClain says, think Montgomery is the Thunder, Gibbs is the Lightning. Like, I think they're both going to be. Like, the RB1 crap is just like, I mean, you're not going to give Jahmyr 20 carries. I don't think once this season. I would not expect that. And if that happens, then I hope he's healthy, because he's going to get, probably 6 to 8 targets in the passing game. Like, you're talking about 30 touches in a game. Like, I don't know if Jahmyr will get that. I could see roughly maybe 15 to 20 touches. I could see that. But, yeah, I don't think he's a guy, 5'9", 200 pounds, you're going to get that guy he's your bell cow. I don't see that.
Okay.
So I guess it depends how you value RB1. Like, David's going to get more carries, so I guess technically he's RB1. But who gives a damn? They're both going to be used.
Okay.
Split backfield.
JB, you have any input on this?
I don't think it'll be this season, but next season I could definitely see Jahmyr Gibbs being your RB1. I just think as of right now, Ben Johnson's going to use him a little bit more in that that wide receiver role, coming out of the backfield. But it's possible. I think year 2 for him, he'll definitely be your running back 1.
Gabby, any thoughts?
My thought is that that JB's camera is really high.
I think JB, are you booling in the chair?
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I kind of like it because now we can see your shirt. Usually you have to do like the whole step back.
Yeah, JB's got the chair in there. He's lounging.
Dude, JB's got the executive office in that
He's
place.
set up now. Yeah.
Dude's got AC. He's got everything.
I don't know about AC now.
AC's getting his feet rubbed while he's doing it. Dude, he's got it all. Shout out to JB, man. What else you got for us, Lucas?
Well, that'll be all. We can get into an early mailbag and we'll be back tomorrow, fellas. But
Let's do it.
Let's get into some mailbag.
Let's get to mailbag. Before we do that, Sam Flannel, tell us about our friends over at Planet Fitness.
Oh, yes. I may have lost trivia, so I have to overcompensate with working out a little bit more and getting even bigger guns because my smarts are just slowly dissipating. I will flex on them all day.
You saying you're a meathead now?
I mean, I might have to transition into one. That loss was very, very humbling, but congratulations, Jeff Iafrate. Credit where credit is due. But if you all want to work out and get buff like I am going to get, go to Planet Fitness because Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for only $10 a month. Yes, we are still only $10 a month. Your fitness is essential, and fitness is a key part of physical and mental wellness, which is why we have invited teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long. You still got time with our high school summer pass program. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. It's Planet Fitness.
Show 'em Flannel.
What? Where your fitness is essential.
Sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Your childhood may be over, but certainly playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor Still, and much more. For more information, visit them at OutdoorEquipmentCompany.com. Outdoor Equip Co., your power equipment playground. It's time to go to mailbag, and I just want to say this: when Sam does that Planet Fitness read, man, like hopefully your girl's not watching. Like that's a dangerous. Like if she's tuning into the stream and Sam's over there flexing the guns, she ain't yours no more, man. Like that's just how it is. Now it's Sam Flannel's girl.
You guys don't have to worry. I'm a happily married man.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the facts. That's all.
You can want it. But
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll start with Jesse Adams. Mailbag. Outside of heavyweights, who would go to the red light district at Woodward? Gabby would die. Sam would cry. There's so many guesses. JB Lucas would be in heaven. Jeff would go if JB goes. That's facts. I'd go with my guy JB.
Yeah, I'm going.
Because my guy.
I think that's pretty accurate.
But that's pretty accurate.
Red light district?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, you would die.
So what would qualify as the red light district, and why would I cry?
A lot of how would we say this? Females of the night?
Oh, okay.
Females
of the night.
Yeah.
Very special massage. Deshaun Watson would probably love red light districts.
All right. We'll go to the next question here. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Can Sam's Planet Fitness arms beat down Jeff's? I mean, I wouldn't bet against him. Sam Flannel, the guy's yoked. So I'd probably put my money on Flannel.
I mean, Jeff, you're not so bad yourself. I'd say we're closer to equal.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. MF Jester mailbag. Y'all better be ready to hit them hard and long tonight. Shout out 5 Iron. Yeah, MF Jester. MF, man, I don't think. I mean, if you've been watching this show for a little bit, you know I suck ass at golf. But you know what though? I'm gonna try and bring it. I'm gonna need Braylon Edwards. I told him, hey Bray, I need that Braylon Edwards against Michigan State game.
0-4.
I need that performance tonight.
You got to be ready.
Hey, I think between the both of us, we can say the effort's going to be there. I don't know if the execution will, but it's going to be honest work. It'll be 100% effort. I can't guarantee the success, though, between Jeff and I.
Yeah, and Jester says, bring it tonight, brother. I'm going to try. I got you, fam. I'm going to try and do it. We'll see. Let's get to some more of these questions here. Mailbag, how many games until Branch starts, and how does he become the starter? I think week 1 he's there. I do. He's too. I mean, his impact, you see it now. Guy has an knack for the football. The IQ is there. Again, you're in Saban's defense. He X's and O's. He's sharp. Now there's those rookie humps that he has to get over, but I don't think they're going to be able to take him off the field. I think there'll be opportunities where you get Tracy in there, but still, Brian Branch, he could play corner. He could play in the slot. He could play safety for you. Like, he could do it all.
Yeah,
he really can.
That's the thing. The only thing I think stopping Brian Branch for being in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year is usage. But if he starts week 1, he's going to get all the usage that he needs, and he is going to make a huge impact this season. He is probably the most excited player that I am going to watch in terms of who I want to see, besides Aiden Hutchinson. But when we're talking about rookies, certainly Brian Branch.
Let's see. DNC, mailbag, what Detroit player would fare the best on a different Detroit team? Switching sports. That's a good question. I think a Detroit player that would bode well on another team or work out.
Let's think. Let's go like sport by sport, maybe.
I would say Isaiah Stewart on the Lions.
Yeah.
Like, put Isaiah Stewart at like defensive end.
Cade. Put Cade at running back or something like that.
Dude, he's
Get Derrick Henry back there.
Cade lined up, dude. He's like taller than Jared and probably skinnier than Jared. Oh, okay. Isaiah Stewart maybe on the edge, like Duran on Lions. I hear, Duran would be insane.
Killian would be great on the Tigers bench.
Hey, on any bench.
Yeah.
He makes a good water boy.
That's
There you
true.
go, JB, having some optimism with it.
What
He can
about
get some
Glass
minutes on
half
the field?
full?
Yes. What about Mo Sider, safety for the Lions? Some of those.
Oh,
Hey,
he would.
the man hits hard.
Yeah, he'd be laying hits. I like that one. Let's see. A mailbag, is Lucas the president of the Laporta fan club? Jack asks.
I'm the founder, baby.
I mean,
I'm the founder.
There's the Laporta fan club, and then there's the Laporta Hall of Fame club, and that's what Lucas is a part of. Like, he's shooting for the stars.
I mean, I don't think Flannel thinks Brian Branch is going to be a Hall of Famer, but that's my Flannel's Brian Branch. I love Sam Laporta. I think he's going to be an instant impact, and yeah. I'm the president of it, the founder, the co-founder. Me and Sam, we'll get on the phone one day. We'll do some charity events in the future for this Hall of Fame ceremony. There'll be some good times between me and Sammy Laporta.
John Lord, my girl asks, is that a muscle suit under Flannel's flannel?
All natural. Planet Fitness made at Planet Fitness. I'll tell you what.
Bread in the gym. He's getting bread.
Lions Troll, Jeff, how was Hockin Hills? I appreciate you asking, man. Yeah, Hockin Hills was beautiful. I think it's the only, you could argue, the only great thing about Ohio, to be honest with you.
What did you think of Toledo when you passed through? Scenic?
I sped up to get out of there.
Sure.
Yeah, like I was going 70, then hit Toledo. I was going about 85. I was trying to get through Toledo as fast as I could. But you know what, Lucas?
The mud.
If you like it, cool. You know, it's your thing. Cedar Point is up there too. Yes, Eric Allen is correct. Cedar Point is the other probably only highlight there, and then you get to the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
And LeBron.
Your goat, LeBron.
Yeah, hey, my
LeBron.
goat. That is true. That is true.
Stephen
Akron,
Curry was
Ohio.
born in Ohio.
He resides, or he did reside. Let's see. Sly Cooper, mailbag. Jeff, hey, can we send our fantasy drafts and have you guys grade them like mock drafts?
Ooh, yeah, we can do that at 9:40 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can do like one a day or something like that if you guys want to get into some fantasy talk, which we will try to do more of as the season starts. I think, Lucas, you'd have fun with that one.
Yeah,
so.
during 9:40 during the season, that'll probably be like obviously like a lot of highlights and like funny plays, but I want to do a lot of fantasy during that time too. So if you like fantasy football, we'll get cooking for you.
Now, what's your socials? People send them to you.
Oh yeah, so
directly.
just send all of them. I'll pop it up on the screen next time, but it's literally Lucas Klotz, Lucas_Klotz, but the L is a 1.
Okay.
I had to adjust that around.
Let's see. Noah M. I'm having my bachelor party this weekend, but looking for entertainment. Noah M. I hope you have fun, man. Bachelor, congratulations, and hope you guys get down. I mean, have some fun, but not too much fun.
Stay away from the red light districts.
Yeah, it could get. Hey, Noah, like it gets a little spicy down there. So we'll see.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, if you're going to Vegas, everything stays there, like JB said. Steve-O Baby, Mailbag Jeff, do you think Sam would look wearing a tattoo saying that Michigan Wolverines national champions? Would you ever? I would love to see Sam Flannel get a Michigan tattoo. You don't have any tattoos, right?
I don't have any tattoos.
Your first one should be like a J.J. McCarthy tattoo right on your chest, man, if they win a natty.
Just like J.J. McCarthy with like a halo or something.
Sam's praying to J.J. every night, dude.
And M under your eye like a tear.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Let's see. Lucian, Mailbag, who do you personally believe is the greatest thrower of the football in NFL history? I would say Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you, or Aaron Rodgers. Those are the two guys that come to mind immediately.
Dan Marino's up there.
Dan Marino,
Yeah. Dan Marino
good mention there. Guys that can sling it. Yeah. I guess arm angles and what he can do throwing the football, I would give it to Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm obviously Patrick Mahomes, but I do have a lot of respect for Dan Marino. He gets kind of underrated because he never won a Super Bowl, but his 1984 season, I believe it was 84, was one of, I would still say, the greatest regular season a quarterback's ever had.
Randall Cunningham's a really underrated arm, too.
That's
Randall
dude,
Cunningham
yeah.
had a crazy arm.
You had a cannon. Let's see. Let's get to one more question. Charles McLean, can Teddy B go 4-0 if Goff goes down like he did when Breeze went down? I don't know if...
No.
I know. And again, 4-0, I know the Saints sample size was great, but it's different teams. There's a lot of differences. I can't just say they'll go undefeated, but if you can keep them 2-2 or 3-1, that would be great.
We definitely wouldn't go 0-4.
No.
Wouldn't be
If
anything like
Nate
that.
Sudfeld, you'd go 0-4.
Yeah.
So there's the difference. I think Teddy gives you a chance. And Chuck also makes a great point. Depends on who the 4 games are against.
That's
you never
probably
know.
the best point of all, honestly.
Yeah, it depends. Well, but we shall see. We'll call it there for today, guys. Hold on. I'll get one more. Eric Burrow, Mailbag. Which city is the most dangerous, Toledo or Detroit? And Lucas, you answer this one to close us out.
Detroit. It's just Detroit's bigger, but if you go like per capita, maybe Toledo's got it. But Detroit's bigger city. I'll give it to Toledo.
Oh, I love that. Well, you said that. Per capita, man. Pulled out the capita. All right, we'll end the show here. We appreciate you guys, man, for sticking with us, choosing us this morning, showing love, liking the stream. Don't forget, before you leave, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We got a great show planned for tomorrow. It's preseason time. They're facing the Giants. It's going to be great. We'll be down at the game as well tomorrow, so come say hi if you see us. Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, JB, Gabrielle D. Phillips, and Lucas Klotz. Same crew as always. Until tomorrow, we'll catch you guys.
See ya.